Hey!
The perversion ends. Hatred, criminal activity.
Hi! Go Sydney! I can kind of block out the sausage smell. Hey!
Hi, Kelly.
Hello! Yeah! Oh, excellent! You take a photo of us and we'll take one of you.
No, I'm not a picture.
Hey! Yay! Woohoo!
The only way the truth comes out now, isn't it?
Only way, babe! Yay! Woohoo! Mwah! Thank you. Sorry? Yes, I am. Yeah, if you look up the Australian Free Independent Press Network. Okay, good. Yeah. Thank you. I just can't read this. We want to get to Martin Place, guys, but you have to get the depth of the amount of people that are here.
50,000.
Oh, I reckon it's 100, mate. Woohoo! Yay! Woohoo! Oh my God, it's so good.
Sorry, Melbourne, our crowds are bigger than
Yay! We beat Melbourne! We're standing on the shoulders of Victoria.
I would have come anyway, but I came from Victoria today.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck you coming and
Yeah.
turn up for that.
Absolutely. Go Sydney, we've finally turned it on.
Oh, yeah.
Hey girls! Have hope, eh? Where are they coming from? That's true. And there's what, 40,000 there?
Between 40 and 60, yeah. You have
And this is, yeah. Go Sydney! Woo!
There's at least 200 people.
Oh, I know, at least. I'm sure the helicopter could see at least 200.
Okay, cool. We'll go.
Hey! Thank you from Canada. Woohoo! Thank you. Bloody brilliant idea I had at that side. FOMO. Yay!
ScoMo, grow a pair bigger than that.
Hey! Woohoo! Yay!
Hello.
Do you want to say a few words on camera?
Yeah, we'd love to.
Come
Oh,
on!
you live streaming?
Yeah, we're live streaming.
Independent Free Press Network. All right. Well, can we please talk to you about sleep? Get the word out. How many people are watching right now?
Oh, reckon 100,000? But, you know, I think the helicopter saw about 200.
Oh, can you get the protest?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We're streaming to 400 people at the moment. But when it goes, it's also streaming live on the national page, so there'll be a lot more there as well. What would you like to
I'd
say?
just like to say, people, just Google seed oils, look up what vegetable oils are, look up how then they look into the history of when they entered the human food consumption and the bad health effects they can have for you, causing obesity, heart disease. A lot of our issues around COVID, the underlying causes can be attributed to seed.
Ah, I hear you.
Investigate it. 3 polyunsaturated fats, bad for you.
Okay.
To meat fat, yeah, tallow,
Okay.
suet, ghee, butter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awesome.
get on it.
Yeah.
Thank you. We'll look you up later.
Yeah, please do. Australian Free Independent Press Network. Okay, I think it's thinning out a touch maybe. But they're still further than I can see. Hey guys, give a wave to the Australian Free Independent Press Network. Yay! All the cops are happy and cheery and waving at us.
See ya.
Thank you. You too. Look how happy they are. Okay. Look at that. Woohoo! Go Sydney! Go that way. I might turn off, yeah? Guys, I know there's so many of you watching and I really don't want to turn off, but we're going to try and make a run for it and go round to Martin Place and pick you up. Don't go away. Stay tuned. We'll be back. This has been amazing. Look, there's like 430 of you. Please don't go. Give me maybe half an hour and we'll get down to Martin Place and see if we can get back on. This is just the end of the crowd now. So I think we've been streaming this whole length of people for probably a good half an hour and this is the first time it's thinned out. So there's anywhere from 50 to 100,000 people here. Go Sydney!
Thank you.
Woohoo! Okay guys, I'll see you soon.
This is New York City.
gentlemen, my fellow Australians. Welcome to it's a beautiful day today. For the first time in more than a year, the people are able to speak up and speak back. The government has been preventing this and laying this for many months. In fact, 2 years. They've been stopping us from doing this. This is what they're afraid of. This is what Hazard was afraid of. Hazard was afraid of the Australian people. Ladies and gentlemen, we are 2 minutes for national anthem. We've got a very good program today. We've got some of our best freedom fighters here today. Mr. Craig Kelly. Mr. Ricardo Posey. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have the national anthem of Australia right now and sung by an opera singer by the name of Kenosha. You guys are welcome to sing along. The first verse will be in First Nations language. We began today's ceremony with the welcome ceremony. Do we have anybody here? No? Who's the United Australia Party member? Do we have anyone here who's not political member? There's 150 parties today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are calling our politics to the simple. We promised Melbourne that we met them. If we were staying long, I think it's called Rallies. Shooting right in Melbourne. And I think Sam Brother for leading the way. Well done, man. 28 Grand Andrews of Victoria. Welcome, Melbourne. 38 Grand Andrews said the protesters were extreme. What do we think of these guys? Zach Andrews! Zach Andrews! Zach Andrews! Zach Andrews! Zach Andrews! Zach Andrews! Let's go, Andrews! Don't pass away, something, ladies and gentlemen, something is changing today. Something is changing. Slack me off! Slack me off! Craig Kelly provided mercy. I'm making their way. Now, please, let's get the team to Craig Kelly with mercy. Michael, just make way the crowd of the crowd of the victory.
Now I've compressed a year's work into 5 minutes because we all want to get going into the march, and I've got the boss standing here pushing me along. I wrote, under the Freedom of Information Act, I wrote to the South Australian Department of Health asking for evidence for the SARS-CoV-2 virus, which they've mandated and brought in draconian laws because they have evidence of that. Well, I got a response back just recently, and their response is, it doesn't exist, they don't have it. Anybody can come here and take a photo of this. It's signed by Stephen Wade, the Minister of Health and Wellbeing.
Wellbeing, my ass.
Yep. So, moving on, I also wrote to them. No, there's not. Well, they don't have evidence of it, okay?
No.
Okay, the other one is the PCR, the polymerase chain reaction. They use that to lock down, to call anybody that they deem a case. So they do, they make it up as they go along. The polymerase chain reaction, or the PCR, is not a diagnostic tool, we all know that. 1,000 scientists have come out and disputed it and said, you can't tell if you're ill, let alone detect the virus or what type of virus you might have, if anything. And if they turn it up above 25 cycles, it gives you 100% false positive. The letter here from the Minister for Health and Wellbeing, Stephen Wade again, said they use it at 40 cycles. not 25, 40 cycles. It ramps it up hundreds of millions of times, and they will find something from nothing. So this is all fraudulent. Okay, so now I'm going to go into a couple of documents which, because these vaccines came out under the emergency use authorisation, they were fast-tracked in 6 months when normally vaccines take up to 10 years, and 80% of them are never put on the market because they're too dangerous.
Oh, I can see you guys. Oh, I can see you.
Oh, and by the way, anybody wearing those blue masks from China,
Oh, yes.
Canada's Health Department, in a statement, media statement in March 2021, said that they conducted preliminary risk assessments which revealed a potential for early lung damage associated with inhalation of microscopic graphene particles.
Yes.
Graphene oxide. They made our children at high school wear them for 3 months. And so I did a bit of a letterbox dropping up the northeast for 2 of those months, accusing the government of a whole range of things which are all scientifically backed. And that's probably why I haven't gone to court or been dragged to court. Right, just bear with me for a sec. Okay. Right, children, to get EUA approval, on June the 10th, Pfizer gave a document to the FDA, and and it wasn't released to the public, in which they admit that an adequately powered clinical endpoint efficacy trial with sufficient case accrual across paediatric age groups may be very difficult, if not feasible, to conduct. What that means is it is clinically and statistically impossible to create a vaccine that will be more effective than a child's natural immune system.
Outside! Side trade! Wrap it up, Mike. Come on.
Yep.
1 minute.
Okay.
Last point, Mike. Come on. Last point.
This one was also given to the FDA, in which the study proves that cases of myocarditis have been reported since the approval. In this small case study, myocarditis was diagnosed in children after coronavirus injections, most commonly in boys after the second dose. The long-term risk associated with post-vaccination in myocarditis remain unknown. And I'm getting pushed. I'm just going to go past a couple of these, and I want to go to one of the most critical documents which I've got here, which I just ran past. Hang on, just bear with me. All right, here it is. Okay. This is the Pfizer's package insert. This is the ingredients that they have, and this was given to the FDA as part of their emergency use authorisation approval. And it's a fairly large document, but in 5.2, myocarditis and pericarditis data shows increased risk of heart damage within 7 days following the second dose. This is in 12 to 17-year-olds. Risk is higher in males over 40 and highest in males 12 to 17. We're seeing thousands. I went to the Ashford Hospital under the pretext of a heart problem this week, and the nurse told me they're seeing large numbers of young boys and men that they're testing. They've never seen it before. And I'm just about to finish up. Lactation. This is from Pfizer's own document. It is not known whether spike protein is excreted in human milk. Data is not available to assess the effects of the vax on the breastfed infant or on milk production excretion. Then we go to section 13.1. Pfizer has not, and just remember, this is going to be injected into the 5 to 11-year-olds in the new year. So 13.1, Pfizer has not, and this is talking to the FDA now, which they covered all this up, Pfizer has not been evaluated for the potential to cause cancer, mutation or impairment of male fertility. In other words, they're sterilising our children. So I want everybody to go up back to their own suburbs, organise yourself into groups, do a one-pager and letterbox drop to all your neighbours, to everybody you can. You've got to organise yourself because there's an election. Do it before the election. Write whatever you want. Use evidence. Use medical and data-based evidence. Put it on there. Put some links on there. But make it one page. Letterbox drop it. Warn everybody because this is the last chance we've got before they sterilise and kill our children. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Wow. Now it's totally alarming, it's totally experimental, it is going to affect the fertility and the well-being of future generations, and we need to do something. We will share Mike's research and his actions through Adelaide Freedom Rally. We are adelaidefreedomrally.com. We have a subscription button on our website. We communicate through our email list. There are people walking around with some iPads to help people to sign up if you're not already signed up. But this is very important, and we do need to hit the streets to protect our children. It needs to be a huge campaign. Two things I'm going to bring to your attention quickly. Somebody's lost a credit card. I won't read out the name. But if you know that you're missing a credit card, that's now in my back pocket. And over here to the right, there are some solicitors, Woodburn and Co solicitors, Old Port Chambers. Together they are hoping to obtain 10,000 signatures on a petition to revoke the declaration of a major emergency made on March 22, 2020. So if you go over and see them, they're somewhere over near this vehicle over here. Then they will have petitions there for you to sign. So we have now, nobody's claimed the glasses yet. Any lost property, if you've lost anything, come up to the marquee at the end of the day. Now we're moving on to Kathy. Kathy's someone who's gone a little bit viral, crazy around the world with her passion for this cause. Hi Adelaide, Greater Adelaide and country South Australia. Welcome. Welcome vaccinated and unvaccinated. There is no discrimination here. Thank you for coming to our Adelaide World Freedom Rally. My name is Kathy, and it is a great privilege to be standing here in front of such dedicated, honourable and proud South Australians. I would like you all to please remember this moment, not only in the history of our beautiful state, but to also acknowledge being in the present moment. And know you are not alone in this tyrannical madness. We are all aware this tyranny is occurring across the majority of the world, but that does not make us feel any better. In fact, it may make us feel more defeated and insignificant. I am here to help you realise that these feelings are normal when such stressors are impacting our lives in such a formidable way. Employees of some larger service industry organisations, healthcare workers including allied health, admin, orderlies, cleaners, tradie subcontractors, disability workers, teachers and education providers alike across many sectors have been mandated to have the COVID-19 injections.
Shove it up their arse.
These are obviously still very much in the early trial phases.
Mandate is not law.
Right. Mandate means request, actually. All the sectors of employment mentioned total thousands of employees in employment limbo currently in South Australia.
Bring the government down.
Absolutely. I urge you to research the Red Union, redunion.com.au. The Red Union is very well known in the eastern states and is rapidly gaining traction in South Australia. This union is apolitical, meaning no party political affiliation, unlike every other union in this country. On behalf of the Red Union, I personally apologise for an email that was sent out this week. Please ignore it. That came from a very frustrated and industrial law lawyer, okay? Those of you who are Red Union members already will know what I'm talking about. Just hold the line, please. The Red Union next year will be bringing all the SA memberships, now based in Queensland, here to Adelaide, where members will have local contact and actually see faces. The Red Union Constitution does not allow members' funds to go towards party political means at all. It doesn't happen. I would not be involved if it was. I just wouldn't. It is more important than ever to find that true Aussie spirit. The Aussie spirit inside us has been crushed for the past 20 plus months. It appears that a federal election may be looming sooner rather than later. It may be actually within weeks. We must align ourselves with the principles and values that are most important to us and which will benefit not only ourselves and our families, but our whole South Australian community at large. Indeed, the entire Australian community. We must have our best interests for our country. This is our country and we are claiming it back. I personally choose freedom. I will be aligning myself with a political party that emphasises the word freedom. Make up your own minds who that is. When you go to vote, take a pen. Take a pen with you. Do not use the pencil.
No.
They can rub it out. Use your brains. We've got this.
Yep.
We need a political party that has a strategic plan to rid of 3/4 of the ridiculous bureaucracy that happens in this country.
And actions to share with everybody. There are more people wanting to speak.
What's she say? What the?
Anthony. They was for the black men. That's who they was for. Yes, Black Lives Matter. Always will motherfucking matter. Period. And y'all need that motherfucking get in tune. I gotta be quiet. Oh, you got the shot, but you still can get it. You still can get it, and you see him blowing your motherfucking nose. White privilege. Because guess what? We couldn't do that because y'all look at us like we crazy. And then call them motherfucking blue lives fucking matter. Fucking assholes. No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! No fake ass police! No fake ass racist ass police! That's what y'all think y'all is! No vigilante! No fucking badge! But guess what? Y'all got an invincible badge. White supremacists! Y'all got shit fucked up. On real talk, we are out here.
Crowd size is growing.
Y'all just don't understand. If we already got war between us black people.
Shit went down to like 500 already. Real fast.
Yeah, we got it. No peace! No fake ass police! No justice! No peace! No fake ass police! There you go. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. What this is what justice means. Right now we fight because of police brutality. I like your hat. Fucking Waller, toss the police, fuck all they ass. Fuck Sean. What are y'all been talking about out here? Black men.
I see the prejudice.
What's about Liz?
All right, what you can do if you think Judge Schroeder is racist is you can email judcmm@wicourts.gov. It's an informal complaint, but you can still complain at every avenue. You have to get an actual copy of a piece of paper sent to you if you want to file a formal complaint. But again, let's remove Judge Schroeder, who's a white supremacist. He did not allow relevant evidence that would prove, that would show Kyle's character, which is that of a violent person who wants to kill people, right? And he fraternizes with white supremacist groups that took part in an attack on a free and fair election, which, you know, that's not an America First group. That is a violent, forceful group. So again, Judge Schroeder must go. JUD.courts.gov. Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I'm sorry. Alright, go ahead and put chat's getting crazy. Go ahead and slide actually no, put discussion on. Thank you so much. Put discussion on Facebook. Leave it on follower only. Leave it on follower only. Don't put it on supporter, but set it to discussion. So if someone's gonna comment, they have to comment something with substance. So do it, do it follower only, but put on the discussion.
turn the phone sideways and take a picture. Thank you. Hey, one more time.
You want to pick? 6 feet. Would you allow your son to come across state line? I'm asking you that. If he was 17, 16, so how the fuck you? So are you how? You're a freak out, right? So why are you saying, come on, guys? Do you believe that black people need justice?
I'm sitting in the wrong spot. I'm sitting right by the side. That's my mistake.
Well, we don't care. Why are you down here? Why are you down here? Why aren't you on our side? Can you go over there? Why are you not? Why are you not? Why am I what? Go over there. I work for it. You work for it. Okay, well put us on the open. Right there. There's video. Yeah, y'all need to take that from us. Because y'all disrespecting us as a whole. Y'all disrespecting black people as a whole. Yes, you are. Because guess what? We have our cousins
disrespecting black
sitting
people.
here in jail right now for the same shit.
I love Candace so much.
Guess
She's
what?
black. I love
Guess
her.
what?
Fuck you and Rittenhouse, buddy. Wonderful black people.
Kyle should have got 5 in, 10 out.
Okay, so y'all need to start taking precedent. If you feel that we're wonderful and all that, because that's what the government turned us against each other. Do you not understand that? That's the reason why so much black on black crime today, because of the fucking government. Y'all, what can you do for us?
Well, I don't know why you're not supporting Kyle. He finally got a phone
You know what? Fuck his mama. He said fuck his mama. Fuck his mama. Fuck his mama. Fuck the judge. Fuck the DA. Under his belt. 2 people are dead under his belt. And that's okay? Fuck that shit. That's what I'm talking Y'all can't take none of that shit. First thing y'all want to do is hunt.
People just assume.
I should wear my black Air Force Ones today. We got minors out here. We got children out here.
I feel like
Children is out here. Ready. Every now and then, getting sent a gun right now. And we're going to see what the fuck they do to us. What they do and what they will do to me. What I'm talking about Kyle, mama. I'm talking about Kyle, how he is underage with a gun.
I'm okay for now. That was good. That was perfect. I hit my spot. Thank you so much. I'll have more later.
Hold on. That's because of the because they are thieves. They are thieves. They are thieves.
If he's 4 months older,
They are thieves.
If he's 4 months older, you'd favor him?
Listen.
You'd say go Kyle if he's 4 months older? I mean, come on.
Shut up. fake ass news. That's what the fuck you want.
I saw the video.
No, you didn't see shit.
You see the
Evidently, you would have known.
You see the
He was
drone
hunting
video?
black people. He was hunting for black people.
He wasn't hunting for
And what
black
the
people.
fuck was y'all coming out here for?
He had a fire.
Why was y'all coming out here?
Well, what are you doing
That's
out
what
here?
I want to.
I have as much right to be here as you
Because I
do.
got a son, and I love him dearly. And goddamn it, I'll be damned if one of y'all motherfuckers do anything.
What does that have to do with Kyle? He didn't shoot one black person.
It don't matter. It don't matter. They feel like they got the power.
If we would have shot somebody,
Y'all ain't got no power.
y'all wouldn't be saying free us, right?
What y'all should be doing? Y'all what y'all should be doing?
Why you not over here? If you love black people so much, why you not over here?
So it's okay because he wasn't black, but it's okay because he was my friend?
It don't fucking matter.
That's the argument right now. It's okay because he wasn't black, but it's okay because he's my friend.
He was the guy who defended him. He put out an arson fire.
A 17-year-old.
People died in Vietnam.
You ever seen Black Samuel Jackson who's bigger planes than that garbage can?
Oh, that's what you're mad about, his age. If he was 4 months older, he'd be okay with it.
We're mad because the outsider came into our land and decided to fuck some shit up that he should have been fucking up.
Hey, you know what? He got chased down by a bunch of thugs.
Plastic bag, dumbass. You got fucking ran up by him. That's not something bad.
And he's not a racist either, by the way. That's bullshit. Calling him a racist, that's horseshit.
What you mean? He came out here and did what was a
Kyle wasn't there. There wasn't no racism. There's nothing racist.
No justice! No peace! No justice!
No peace!
No justice! No peace! Fuck y'all! Why y'all got me mad? Who wanna argue with me? Who wanna argue with me? Fuck! Who wants to fuck with me? For real, I do this shit every fucking day.
I'm just saying, if I would have shot
I gotta deal with racist ass white people every fucking day. Every day I deal with racist white people. I go to a fucking PWI. I live this shit. I go to a PWI. I live this shit every fucking day. And y'all got to be out here.
Stop it. Get some help.
He's trying to argue. You need to say, old ass. Fuck you. Come back over here and just get out and smack the shit out of you. Man. Okay, I ain't mad. She's dead. She's dead ass. I'm not playing. She's dead ass. No, I'm mad. I'm trying to hide and I say too much. I'm mad. I am mad.
Well, crowd side's grown now.
I'm pissed. I'm mad. About
From,
these weak ass explanations. Fuck
from what it was
explanations.
earlier.
I'm pissed off.
Spam those reactions, share the stream, guys. Everybody that's watching, hit that share button. Live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, outside of the Kenosha County Courthouse.
Every fucking day. Get the man some water. Man, I'm so mad. I don't know what to do. How I end up up here, twin? How I end up up here? I'm mad, man. I'm so mad. Y'all don't understand. It ain't even just this case. It's all these cases. Like, the system let us down every fucking chance they get. Every chance they get, they let us fucking down.
You understand us? No, but you still got this motherfucking sign up. You still got this sign. That's the point. Y'all think that y'all do got it. Y'all think y'all got the power. That's the fucking point.
I'm so mad right now.
We ain't got shit.
I'm mad.
God damn it.
And I shouldn't even be surprised. I should not be surprised about this shit. This shit happen every fucking day.
Bye.
So what the fuck that got to do with the organization? Because those are two different things. You cannot correlate those together. You get what the fuck I'm saying, right?
Let me explain what happened. So what happened was they came up to us with a house.
Honestly, because they're fucking hurt. We're tired of this shit. We're tired. Who said that?
Where'd she go?
And I say fuck white people too.
Oh, okay. And you know,
I hurt your feelings with that?
For me, just sitting here, I didn't feel like it was.
You said it's necessarily what? It is necessary to say, especially in this case. A white man, a white boy killed 2 people in cold blood and got off blood easily. But if me or any of these black people did that shit, we'd probably be killed on the spot, not even get to fucking testify in court. And you understand why the fuck we're saying fuck white people? Dealt with this shit for too fucking long.
But, I mean, I have nothing to do with the case. I have nothing to do with any of it.
But you said fuck Black Lives Matter. That's what I'm talking about right fucking now.
After someone shouted at me in my face, fuck white people.
So you said fuck Black Lives Matter for what?
By the way, I was here. I'm the person that you said it because you said it in my face. And we got into it and I was calling you crackers and monkey. Don't lie.
Okay. So, no, when someone got to my face,
you said fuck Black Lives Matter. That's what he said. That's when I started saying racial shit. Back.
But we're not talking about no fucking organization. We're talking about the movement.
And I get that.
Do you really?
And you said that in my face. And when I got up on your motherfucking ass, and that's what I did.
But then we had a civil conversation after I explained.
No, I never talked to you. I
civil
talked to
about
other
this.
people. I never talked to you personally because I had a vendetta with you. Personally. Just you, personally.
We did have a conversation after the fact. You were on live video. And we had a civil conversation where I explained.
Short man. Short man.
You wouldn't even be here if they didn't shoot his ass in the back. You shot him 4 times. You wouldn't even have to be here if Kenosha PD were keeping their guns in their holsters.
No justice, no peace. That's that. Did that dog say Black Lives
I wasn't expecting but I thought they were they didn't know they were pedophiles. Doesn't matter. Fucking
Anyway, get on that side.
What's your dog's name? Kitsy?
She's very active. She knows how to.
I love her sweater.
It's double because she goes skiing a lot.
Oh.
It's super thick.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
Food and dogs and puppies. I feel like somebody just needs to drop a box of puppies off at one of these things once. The sheriff gave out cookies and coffee. The activist leader yesterday gave out Jimmy John's. We need more food and just drop off a box of puppies for everybody to play with out here. So that group that came out chanting is now into their own little conversation groups. The crowd that's out in front of the courthouse is growing. Oh, and guess whose attention's back now? Weird. Super weird. Remember when I told you they were packing up and leaving? I was too though, but that was after standing out here for a little over an hour. And while I was wrapping up to tell you guys, like, I'm about to go warm up and take this armor off and shit, the crowd had walked up. So it has grown.
My delightfully happy cameraman. Why are you guys here today?
Freedom.
Is it affecting you directly?
Yeah, I've quit my job. Well, I haven't quit it. I'm not quite being
You're not
sacked
allowed to go
yet.
to work, I think that's the
That's
term.
the one, yes.
Yeah.
Being an aged carer.
But you have a choice.
Yes, I do. That's why I'm not going back.
Yeah.
What
How
can
are
I
you
say?
going to look after yourself?
That I'm not sure of that yet.
Yeah. I suppose sometimes you just have to believe that there's always opportunities to make money and live. And we all need a certain amount of finances to survive in this world, the way it's set up.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Why are you here today?
Oh, mate, just sticking by the community and, showing everyone that we need to stick together and.
Is it affecting you directly?
It is, yeah. I recently I lost my job a few weeks ago because I wasn't going to get the vaccine.
Well, you
so
haven't lost it.
no,
yet.
no.
You're not allowed to go to your work site.
Yes, that's right. Not allowed to go to work at the moment, but all
tricky, all good, you reckon?
Yeah, it's all good. We just adapt and we just overcome,
Yeah. I suppose we're all a bit fearful, but there are opportunities. I was just speaking to that other lady. So you've got things that you feel, that you're confident, that you're optimistic that you can survive and get through this.
Yeah, well, we're very lucky that we've got family and friends that support me. So, tough times, but through these tough times come great opportunity, and we just keep moving forward.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, mate.
We've even got canine friends today, hitching a ride.
Oh, yeah. It's up to you. I don't mind. You'll do that way.
We always get people watching us. That's a key. Why are you here today? Yeah.
I want to get a feeling for the energy that's really in this Freedom Rally. And I also wanted to see how many people gather.
You're from Scandinavia?
No, I'm from Austria, but I'm living here.
My name is Jaeger, so...
I see you are from Scandinavia then.
No. From Germany. Next door.
Schön. I see.
I should have picked up your accent. That's probably what I was saying. So you've come to get the feel. Is this affecting you directly today?
No, not really. I mean, it's depending on how you think ahead.
Now, I've started to hear things in the news about Austria, actually, specifically. Are you aware of anything happening in Austria?
Yes. Also today, so on Saturday, they also have a big demonstration.
Yeah, the World Freedom Rally. That's the date. It's But
Yeah.
have you heard anything from relatives and that? What's happening with government mandates and things like that in Austria? I've heard some interesting news coming out of Austria now.
Well, I'm not up to date because, I also try to keep in balance my inner state and what's happening out there. So I'm not quite sure what's happening, but what I know from the past week is that they were going to impose the 2G-regel. That means they were imposing it basically. So I'm
making it compulsory
Yes.
to be vaccinated.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that I had heard coming out of Austria as well.
Yeah.
Have you got relatives still there?
Yes.
Family? What are they concerned? They protesting as well? Have you heard from them?
Well, my relatives probably won't protest. But
You're the black sheep,
friends-
are you?
No. My sister actually is a doctor in Austria, and she was not. She kind of had to.
She was
gave
forced
in
straight away.
Yeah. Not straight away. She kept going for a while, but at a certain moment it was too stressful for her. It was the choice to give up your
Career?
career
How long
or
has she been a doctor in Austria?
30 years or something.
30 years.
No, shorter maybe.
And 30 years
20 years.
20 years?
Yeah.
And after 20 years of being a doctor, she actually didn't want to get these particular vaccines still.
No.
Did she ever discuss with you why?
Yeah, of course. I mean, she's aware of all the alternative options that are out there, although she's a normal practitioner or
What are they, GPs or MDs in Austria? What are they called?
I don't know.
Don't know, there's a
Practitioner.
doctor.
Praktischer Arzt. Yeah, so she was actually fighting with it for a while, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. I think we've got some people talking to mainstream. Channel 9, it would look like. Okay, we're going to keep going. Had a few words with Channel 9, some of the protesters. Camera's going back.
Tell the truth!
They want some truth from mainstream, they're asking. They're asking for truth from mainstream. Asking for truth.
Tell the truth!
You don't think the mainstream media are telling the truth?
No, I'll bet you when they tell the story of this rally, it'll be, there was a smattering of people. Just a few folks around, a few lunatics, a few far-right protesters, not this beautiful group of people who have come together from all walks of life, people who have been thrown out of jobs, people who've been outcast because of the lies of that media. They don't want to tell that story. They want the jab in the arm. They want the dollars for the pharmaceutical industry.
You from Canada or America?
I'm from down south, but I'm an Australian citizen.
Okay. Yeah. No. Where's you originally came from?
Georgia.
Georgia?
Yeah. Yep.
I've been to Georgia.
Have you?
Yeah. Atlanta,
Georgia. I'm from a place called Athens, not far away.
Why do you think mainstream's not covering this properly?
Well, because they're getting paid not to. And there's a power structure in place to make sure that everybody toes the line and gets the jab, and then the booster, and then the pill, so they can make money. It's a never-ending flow of cash.
Have you seen evidence to that? Or I suppose what you're saying is when they report something that you've physically witnessed,
oh yes,
not reporting it correctly, you've got to wonder.
100%. And look, I do my research as well. I'm around people. I was around people. I lost my job because I didn't take the jab, and I worked in trauma theaters. But I walked away instead of taking the jab, and I had literally dozens of doctors come to me and say, "I wish I had your breakthrough." They're telling you this. You've got to.
Step back, guys. Step back. I have no idea. I wasn't here. I don't know, but this is my place to work it out. So
what's she under arrest for?
I wasn't here, so I don't know. She's at least a thing. Like I said, I wasn't here, so I'm not sure.
I'm so angry. I'm mad.
That's it. What's out here? Just like 5 feet, please.
Where's the chalk that he was talking about? Yeah, let's go look. So the cop was talking about some chalk. Hey, where is the chalk? Oh, it's okay. So this is the chalk that caused that. Says Judge Schroeder must go. Yeah, let's discuss it.
Can we say that? Can we say protect the people? Protect the people! Protect the people! Protect the people! Protect the people! I am the system! I am the system!
Tweet this out. Again, guys, follow me on Twitter for updates. Individual. What does it say?
I get to do all the jobs that someone your height can't do.
Oh, right.
I don't have to put up the ladder, but I have to crawl in the little spaces. There's always swings and roundabouts, I suppose. Is this affecting you directly at the moment?
Not directly, no. I assume it's going to.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Thank you very much.
No worries, mate.
Why are you guys here today? Why are you guys here today? You want to speak to those people? Why are you here today?
I'm here to save the children.
Save the children.
They don't need a vaccine.
Yeah.
The 99.98% survival rate for them.
Yeah.
It's not their job to protect the grandparents. The grandparents have had the vaccine. We don't need the kids to have it. They should be protected.
Have you done a lot of reading around natural immunity in children?
I know they have a good immune system, that's for sure.
Yeah. No, certainly early on in the pandemic, very, very mild symptoms, if any. A lot of them didn't even know they had the cold. That's what I read from the studies.
Yeah, my co-worker's brother, wife and 2 kids had COVID and they're fine, or the flu, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Where were they? Here in Australia?
No, in Dubai.
In Dubai? Yeah. Okay. No problems in the family?
My brother's had COVID, he's fine.
How were his symptoms, your brother?
Like flu, high temperature, cough, all that
sort of stuff. And he's feeling pretty good now?
Yeah, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Pretty in pink. Why are you guys here?
Same as everyone else, fighting for our rights to be free, to make choices for ourselves, and to make sensible decisions.
Sensible decisions. What's a sensible decision for you?
Being able to make a decision that is right for me, based on the knowledge and skills that I have for my own self.
Yeah. And what sort of stuff do you do? Do you want to tell us? Is this affecting you directly? Your work?
Yes, it will. Yep. So, but I prefer not to go to it.
No worries. It's all right. Thank you for talking.
No worries.
Why are you guys here today? I'm from Australian Free Independent Press Network, so we're just live streaming. We're just getting an idea of what's happening in Adelaide. No good? Why are you guys here today?
For the freedom, obviously.
Obviously? Yeah. Not so obvious for all of Adelaide.
No, it's not. It's. I think there's too much misinformation out there by the media, and I think they're really complicit in all of this. So I'm not happy with them at all because they're very biased. Yeah. And they'll probably show this as hardly being anything if they show it.
Any good at estimating crowd?
I reckon it'd be. I don't know, about 10, 15,000 or something.
Yeah. Certainly we haven't at the press network seen this crowd in Adelaide yet. So yeah, it's very big.
So where are you from?
Australian Free Independent Press Network.
All right.
Yeah, so we live stream all the protests all around the country, especially today. There's a big day for everywhere, all around the world really. Yeah. I was just talking to a lady in Austria, and she was saying in Austria, the 20th, they're also protesting there. Did you know, she was telling me, in Austria they're actually mandating it for everybody.
Yeah, I know. That's just wrong on every level, isn't it?
Well, it's an interesting sort of thing to do. I don't know.
Well, I think didn't Hitler mandate that you had to be a Nazi? I think there's lots of parallels there. I think.
Look at history a bit.
Yeah, it repeats itself.
See where we're headed, baby.
Absolutely. It's not good.
So is this affecting you guys directly?
Not me at this point in time. No, I've got my own business, and it hasn't. But it breaks my heart when I think of all the people that have been put off work, and they can't support their families, can't support their mortgages, they lose everything.
But they have a choice, though, apparently.
Well, no, they don't. Being forced into something isn't a choice.
Oh, but they're not forced.
Well, they're coerced.
They can either work or take the vaccine.
Yeah, well, that's not choice, is it?
A lot of people seem to think it's choice these days.
They do, don't they? Yeah. Too many people have become sheep, I think, and just they don't do enough independent research themselves, because there's plenty of information out there that's just not on Facebook and stuff like that. People with just their own opinions. There's actually lots of experts out there, and if you start looking at all the evidence, and you look at just what's happening here in South Australia, we've got one of the world's leading immunologists,
Professor Petrosky.
That's right, and look how they're shutting him down, and yet they're allowing they're using it in Iran. It's just, if that's not control, and
it's a bit strange. I mean, we did a 3-hour interview, or I did a 3-hour interview with Nikolai. It's on our Facebook and YouTube channel as well. If you're ever interested, have a good watch.
Oh, what do you call it?
Australian Free Independent Press Network.
Oh, because I saw an interview with him on Discernible.
Yeah. So we've done others. It was actually a public talk that he did start of November down in Norwood. We filmed that, and then we followed up with a 3-hour in-depth interview at his home, actually.
Oh, did you?
On the 5th of November. So try to remember that. AFIPN. I barely remember it. Sometimes it's a bit of a mouthful. AFIPN. This is on the Adelaide Facebook page, but we've got Melbourne and everywhere. It's live streaming today. What sort of business is it? Have you got a large business?
No.
Are you going to mandate for your employees?
No, I don't have any employees. I've got a couple of contractors. That's all. I just do commercial property management. So it's and I've got some really good owners and stuff. They're not into all of that kind of rubbish. I mean, I shouldn't say rubbish. I mean, it's choice. If they want to have it, good luck to them, But I don't believe in it. I believe in. I believe more in the science from Nicholas Petrosky in relation to it being a vaccine that's outside of the cell rather than inside the cell with the mRNA and so forth.
Well, in our 3-hour interview, he literally said, with transmission, he said there is no logical or scientific reason to mandate anything.
And he also said on the thing, people who haven't had the jab, but they've had COVID and they've come out of it okay, they've got a greater immunity system than with the jab.
Of course they do. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Let them out!
So we're actually passing one of the quarantine hotels, the Medi hotels, to our left. As we go past the big trees, we might get a shot of it. We've got people waving from the balconies.
Because we don't want to get vaccinated. Because we don't believe it's necessary. And I've had to lose my job, which is very unfair. And we're standing up for vaccination that's not about them. It's about protecting older people in order to do their day-to-day activities, go to school and that sort of thing. We stand against that.
What job? Do you want to tell us what job?
I'm a physiotherapist. I work at the Women's and Children's Hospital. I've worked there for over 15 years, and I've been told not to come to work.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking. For now, I'm just trying to hold off as long as I can. I don't feel that it's a necessary thing to go through with, but yeah, if it means I have to sacrifice my livelihood for now, I'm willing to do that just to make a stand and let people hear that this is not okay, to make people lose their livelihood in order to get this vaccine that doesn't actually work, and it's going to be third boosters, fourth boosters. How many boosters are we going to have if we say yes to this?
Certainly we can see around the world how well it's not working.
That's right. So why is the Australian government not opening their eyes up to this? The vaccine is not the only answer. Yes, it works for some people, and yes, it's a good idea for some people, but not for everybody. It should not be a blanket approach, and the fact that they're making us lose our jobs over this is just ludicrous.
How long were you at the Children's Hospital?
I've worked there for on and off for 15 years. And they're very happy to get rid of experienced therapists. They're getting unexperienced people to come in and fill them in their place, and that is also scary, and that is wrong for the South Australian community, and they need to know that. And the people that they're bringing in, they're allowing them to have alternative options to the vaccine, and yet we're not allowed that option. The Covax and the Novavax, they're allowed in other countries, and yet they're not allowing that here. It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, we did a 3-hour interview with Nikolai Podolsky on the Australian Free Independent Press Network. So, we spoke to him, and it just didn't make much sense.
No, it's crazy. So I think the government needs to understand and hear that people are not happy about these decisions. They need to allow room for some grey. You know, they're going black and white. They need to allow for some grey, and that's not an option at this point in time, and I think that's wrong.
Have you done much reading about ivermectin and that sort of thing?
Yes, I have, yeah, and that's another crazy thing. My husband tried to buy some ivermectin and he was told that it wasn't allowed. I mean, why is a medication that's been used for over 40 years and that's been safe suddenly now, dangerous to the point where people aren't allowed to use it anymore? It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 3.7 billion doses approved for animal use in 81. France approved it in 87. FDA approved it in 96. Nobel Prize in 2015.
And lots of doctors are using it and they're having some success. Why is there not any talk about treatment for early COVID? I mean, the fact is that people are getting sick from this virus. It's absolutely true, and I'm not denying that. But they're not allowing any other options. It's the vaccine, and that's the only option. And we know that the vaccine isn't working enough. It's not working as well as it should, so we need to be talking about treatment options. But that's just been completely squashed. It's crazy.
Back, yeah.
Cocoa bomb. No, he's not in the crowd. The crowd's small. The crowd's actually, it got the biggest it was at one point, maybe 20 to 25, and now it's back to slim down. Thank you for the stars, Amanda. Thank you, 50 stars. Thank you.
Is this it?
Is this all you could muster? Saruman from Westerfrost. Super chat. Is this it? Is this all you could muster? Ginger tea sounds good. Some apple crisp. Oh man, you guys are making me hungry. The crowd's gotten even smaller now yet since that went down. There's Corey Elijah. Things picked up for a minute as I was actually signing off to go take a break. But no breaks.
Thank you, Brittany.
Is cereal a soup? $4.99 question from City Hall Studios. Facebook, what do you think? Is cereal a soup? In the chat on YouTube. It's awesome to see again. Haven't seen this many number since everything that happened in Brooklyn Center. Which again, we do have that trial coming up. Trial of Kim Potter, state of Minnesota versus Kim Potter is coming up on November 30th. I'll be providing courtroom feed as well as live stream coverage on the ground in Minneapolis and Brooklyn Center. Any protests, events, happenings around the trial, I will be covering out on the street, and I will also be providing a court feed on Mercado Media and Snack Squad's YouTube channel, so you guys don't have to go anywhere else if you don't want to.
cereal is not a soup.
Apparently, to the majority. Sorry, City Hall. I guess that got shot down. Not many people are agreeing with you that, or are thinking that cereal is a soup. Let's go back in. The crowd, I just had my shoulders are coming off my backpack. Let's go back in. No, not the same crowd. No. Not the same crowd from when the stream started. Some of you guys are still feeling the verdict, huh? Like I've stated, those of us that were here that night we're all ready to close this chapter. That we're all here on the street. So the verdict is out. Got it. Now it's time to move on. We got the next trial. Again, Kim Potter's trial begins on November 30th. We will be providing courtroom coverage, so follow Mercado Media. If you want to watch the court feed of the state of Minnesota versus Kim Potter.
Thank you so much. This is my friend who you just saw getting on the police car. I was watching your live stream and like came down here for your live stream. So like,
so you're good then.
Thank you so much.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
What happened? Did they just let you go?
I mean, I was in the car that took me in, and they took me in the car,
I did take a picture of it.
On the there? That is what, actually I would like, I have something that Deputy Wilson said.
Would you like to be on?
I'll do it.
I'll turn it around. Yep, okay. Make sure, all right. Here we go, all right.
While on the phone outside of the law enforcement vehicle, us being cowards. Now, the sign, the chalk says white supremacy, he was thinking, but Freudian slip there. Deputy Wilson, Kenosha Cop.
Thank you so much for explaining it. Of course. Of course, of course. Alright, so that person that was arrested for the sidewalk talk is now back out here.
That's what
There's a little confusion if it is him or not, so I'm not sure.
Do you want me to head down to the stadium and set up?
I'm down at the protest. Freedom! Oh, thank you, sir. Training, mate, not wasting time here. Oh, sorry, you're recording.
Don't be actually wasting like that. Not a good cause?
Nah, man, I just did the whole walk.
See, we have to catch up for a coffee.
Yeah, I'll be calling you soon for a little while.
Separate and divide us with screens to traumatize us and spells that bind. Who is pulling the string?
Just too poor to get out. They haven't even been tried as guilty. We all saw people get murdered in the streets last year. We all saw it. And yet you are here with this flag that is standing in front of this courthouse that has repeatedly for decades impacted us in a way that you can never understand unless you sit here and you just
People can't pick themselves up.
So I had told it was you and a couple other people here. I just don't appreciate the flag. My uncle served, my dad served, my mom served, my grandparents served. My cousin just died defending this flag. So I appreciate it to not be on the ground. It's really simple to not kick it down. It's really simple. It's childish to kick it down. I understand
family
that.
fought for is not being protected. The great country
Hang on,
is
you
not
know what my
being
family
protected.
fought for? You only, listen, you only have the reason to sit here and demonstrate because of what they fought for.
Nobody's trying to stop us.
If we didn't have freedom, you wouldn't be allowed to demonstrate. If you demonstrate in South Korea, they'd come out and gun us all down, right?
South Korea?
We have a lot of freedom.
All minorities for the
We are very privileged.
You don't act like they don't pray.
Those protesters down the street had it.
What's that? More communities that the military doesn't pray on poor communities. They don't come.
I'm not agreeing with everything. I'm not agreeing with everything they do.
With the promise, and they get traumatized and don't take care of them.
I don't agree with everything they do. I'm just saying they've defended our freedom, so at least the least we can do is show them a little bit of
That side doesn't represent what it's doing. It's not working.
We're out here protesting. You can't do this. You can't do this in a lot of things.
This isn't freedom. Let me flip the script.
You can say whatever
Hear
you
him out.
want.
Hear him out. Let me flip the script for you. Now,
I want to hear it from your perspective.
So let him
I
talk.
do.
Damn.
Okay, so while we're here, it's Kyle Rittenhouse with the shit. Now, I'm not one to flip the race card on anything, but we all know what the fuck would have happened if he was black.
And I understand it. I get what you're saying. Hang on. Can I just want to talk to you for a second. I keep saying I'm out here trying to find my truth. I'm not siding with anyone. Okay, I'm not out here holding a side or anything, supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. I don't even think he should have been here. I think that was the stupidest decision he ever made in his life. I don't think anyone has the right to take a human life. I disagree with the death penalty. It's not right. Just to see the flag kicked on the ground and disrespected after knowing my cousin died for it and my whole family risked their lives for it just makes me angry.
Wait. Hold up.
Hang on, one at a time.
One mic.
I'm listening.
So my grandfather
Died for money from the government. He didn't get shit from it.
He was in the drug cartels, and if any of you have studied street gangs, you know that most drug activity comes from being marginalized from our school and work system. And when the feds caught my grandfather, they said, you can either go to prison for the rest of your life, or you can go fight in Vietnam. My grandfather is a completely different person when he got back, and I don't understand. I don't know if you understand historically what was going on for black soldiers at that time. But wait, then my dad went into the Marines to try to live up to those standards. My grandmother was in the Navy, and they both held high position ranks. So for me, I understand my family served and my family suffered the way a lot of veterans do. But this flag right now in Kenosha is standing for something way beyond that. It's for
I definitely understand.
What it stands for is the persistence of white privilege, equality, and ignorance to what is going on right now. Because you don't even understand the context of that plague right here in this historical spot and what it did and the people that were impacted. People lost their children. Why are you here at the courthouse?
I'm starting to understand because now I'm here.
So what? Did you know that flag was called the old hag? Old hag is Hagar out of Egypt, a black princess out of Egypt who was the mother of Ishmael in the Bible. The woman that designed the American flag was a so-called African American woman and gave it to the government. That's number one, that a lot of our people don't know. This flag was referred to as old hag because they got it from the old hag, who was a slave. Who was a slave. Now, these 13 stripes, check this out. Open the flag. Let me break it down to you real quick. This is something that nobody really knows about the flags. Check this out. Let me show you.
Hey, you guys learn something real quick.
Check this out. Colors. There are 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 red stripes. Do we know what those red stripes are?
I believe that the red stands for blood, and the white was for...
So the blood was the blood of the Moors who lost the land. This was the land of Morocco at one point. Prior to 1700s, this was the land of Morocco. The European countries that came in to fight the 6 wars were dividing the Moroccan Empire. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The original 13 stars, which represented the 13 colonies, were all part of the British Commonwealth system, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, the Brits were the only country of European descendants that acknowledged that slavery was an injustice, right? Now you're 50 stars. How do you get 50 stars on the flag?
It's from 50 states.
Stealing it from
50 states. However, all of those were stolen territories that they conquered in the name of Roman Catholicism.
Yes.
Right. Now, let's go into the Freemasonry piece. Okay. Which the military designed its whole outline on, right? Everything is, all that's Freemasonry. That's all Freemasonry. Now, that's a secular system, which we say one nation under God has nothing to do with God. We're talking about government and government only. Okay. Now, when we talk about so-called African Americans in this country, so-called black people in this country, so-called Native Americans, any kind of so-called minority in this country, we're talking about a flag that don't represent us. This flag doesn't represent us. This flag, wait a minute, this flag represents what we call white privilege. Now, remember, before the 16th century, there was no such thing as black or white on the planet. It did not identify people. It was not a race. It was not a creed. It was not a culture. That right there had nothing to do with it. So we know that white supremacy was a social construct of Western society. All right. So when we talk about this flag being some kind of an honorary element to represent the freedom and justice for all, that's not the truth, because the first 10 amendments, which is the Bill of Rights of the United States Constitution, was written while our people were being conquered, enslaved, subjugated, beaten, raped, murdered, and slaughtered, right? So that means that when it says that all men are created free and all men are equal, right? That means that it had nothing to do with so-called African Americans, Negro, black, colored, Native Americans, Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, Nicaraguans. Right. So this flag represents colonialism for us, while this flag represents freedom for you. So when you see the people kicking down this flag, it means something different to them than it does to you. Now, we're talking about a history entrenched in murder, bloodshed, and everything else. So every time an injustice like this happens and this flag is erected by the so-called white supremacist structures that throws it in our face, it reminds our people that this flag is not our flag. And so that is causing the disconnect and the divide. But the thing is this, when you talk about white privilege was something that was born out of white supremacy. Remember, the early settlers came over here with European slaves. Yeah. These European slaves then they came to them and said, okay, because of the color of your skin, we're going to liberate you and make you an indentured servant. So you're going to get paid slave wages, but these people don't get nothing out of the pot. So that created what's called the black and white divide that gave rise to what we call white supremacy. However, while you poor in the same social class, the same social circumstances, going through the same subjugation, eating the same slop, you were still liberated because of your skin color. So now in your mind, subconsciously, you think that that is a superior piece. Yes. But the fact of the matter is that we are all in the same boat. Now, wait, let me finish. I'm not talking about your belief. I'm not talking about you. I'm just pointing at you and I'm using you as a talking stick, okay? No disrespect. This is what I'm saying. When we're here and we're saying no justice, no peace, right? Because we never had a chance to have rest in this country. There's never been justice for us, so there's never been peace. Now, when we lay down, like I'm from Chicago, when I lay down in certain areas in Chicago before I end up climbing up the ladder, I had to worry about bullets flying through my room, through my window and stuff like that. But that's not your fault, right? It's not your fault, but it is systemic. It is systemic. That's right. We're all slaves of the systemic, of the system. Now, anybody born after 1964, after the Civil Rights Movement, anybody born after that is a slave of the 14th Amendment. Why? Because it's the reconstruction of the Constitution. What does that mean? That means that we are all born as persons. And what is a person defined in law? It means that you are chattel property. So that means that whether you believe that you have white privilege or not, you're still property in the eyes of the system. That's why 99% of your wealth is controlled by governments and everything else, and you only get the short end of the stick. Now, you do get some benefits, like you're 150 years ahead of the so-called African American, because economically, you're 150 years ahead. So this is why they create all of these particular regimes to keep you in place and to keep you moving at a steady pace. But everybody out here represents the oppressed voice. Everybody out here represents the oppressed voice.
On either side.
You have privilege to say, okay, my grandfather, your grandfather, or your
family member,
your whole family fought in the war. That's absolutely great to preserve their freedom, because the people over there that were subjugated by provocateurs that went into their land, those missionaries that went into those, in the name of justice, in the name of freedom, that you're fighting for your country, but you're going over there to perpetuate more injustice, more subjugation, more murder, bloodshed, rape, killing, murder, all those particular things.
What is that reference point?
It's not you.
Okay,
it's not you. I'm talking about systemically.
Because why I'm here is to understand
right.
And to learn.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here to really fall one way or the other. I want to elevate. You know what I mean?
And I appreciate that.
And like, because that's the only way.
Appreciate that.
You know what I mean?
Guess what? I'm gonna tell you something about the European race. I'm gonna give y'all something.
But the history is the history. Right.
History is the history. Well, let me give you a real important history factoid. Guess what? European. You all identify as European, Indo-European, European, some kind of way, right? You're European descendants, correct? Correct? Right? We can agree to that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now look.
Now ask any black person what's their
No. Wait. European is not a nationality. That's a continent. But look. Check this out.
The box I check, I don't even check one.
No. I'm going to give you an important factoid that's going to open the eyes and knock off the head of white supremacy. Check this out. European, let's go to the etymon, comes from the root word Europa. Europa is a Phoenician goddess. We're talking about an African goddess that the European race is named after. Let's talk about it. This is a fact. Look it up. Europa is a Phoenician goddess. Those are the people that's more common to the people of Noah in the Bible. They were Phoenicians. Those Phoenicians are what you call African people from all the way through the Dravidian core go all the way back to ancient Ethiopia. So Europa, even before it became a continent, before Europe became a continent, it was on the tail end of Africa before they changed the map and put it on top. So that means that you're African descendants as well. So when you talk about white supremacy, it don't exist. It's a figment of our imagination. It's what we call systemically, it's a systemic regime. That's what it is. So at the end of the day, we're fighting against who for what? We're fighting about classism. It's not about racism. Because you look like that, I'm going to tell you why you look like that. Your people came from the Rinaldi tribe of Africa, was driven into the Caucasus Mountain, and you stayed there for 15,000 years, and you became genetically recessive, phenotypical, and you emerged with pale skin, blue eyes, blonde hair, because in Africa, wait a minute, wait. It's nothing wrong with that, because you're African. But listen, let me tell you why. Look. When you in Africa, the sun is beaming down on you, right? Yeah. The sun is beaming down on you. Oh, wait. I'm breaking down genetics right now. This is not history. This is genetics. Wait. Look. Listen, I'm saying to you, listen, when you are in Africa, right? The sun, we are children of the moon, children of the sun, right? The sun feeds you. So that means that because the heat is trapped in the back of your neck, so that means that the demographic, the climate demographic of that environment is going to make you have kinky hair. So the sun can not make you hyperventilate. Wait, but if you're in a cold climate, you're going to have to protect the back of your neck and trap the heat. That's why you got long and straight hair. Now, the nose that I got is big because I want that air to get into my nose to cool my brain down if I'm under the sun in 115, 20 degrees, right? So my nostrils are big. But if you're in a cold climate, your nostrils are going to shrink and your nose going to get narrow. Your brain going to swell and your head going to get narrow. Now look, this is why you look the way you look and I look the way I look. That means that we're still African. So at the end of the day, we're the same people. We cannot continue to let these racist regimes come into our environments and divide us classically.
And that's what I mean by elevating.
Absolutely. It's calling together. But wait a minute. We got people that believe because they got blue eyes, right? Let me tell you something about the blue eye. The blue eye came from, right, and don't forget.
But you can't blame the blue eye. And I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying that you are.
Stop taking it personal. Stop taking it personal. I just told you that you was me.
We're all the same.
Okay, so after I told you was me, you know I'm not finna offend myself.
No.
So let me finish. Listen, this is what I'm saying. The blue eye came from genetic recessivism, right? It's a trait that stripped the black gene from the biological cord where you only have a brown gene. That's why so-called black people got two genes, black gene and a brown gene. That's why they're dominant when they have children. That's why. But because the melanin has been stripped because you have to survive in the Caucasus Mountains. You had to survive in the Caucasus. So your black gene stripped because God wanted you to survive for a particular reason. So that means that you got a reason on this planet. We got a reason on this planet. Why not be peaceful and figure out how we work together to improve the quality of living for all people and not just some? You get what I'm saying? So
justice to us is injustice to you, and that's why you should be on our side.
See, that's the thing is you're assuming from the start point that I'm not. You just assumed that I'm not. That's right. I've been doing the listening part of this. I've been doing the listening part of this. You know, and like at the end of the day, it's like I appreciate everything you just said, and I absorbed that. And you know, I might sound like I was personalizing it, and I truly wasn't though. I mean, it may look that way, but I wasn't. But I appreciate everything you said. But at the end of the day, like, where my interest is yes, we have to learn from the history, and it's important to know the facts of the history, like the true history, not what people want you to think or what people want you to tell you that how everything evolved. The real truth, because if you start from a lie, everything is a lie.
Well, you know, the conquerors write the history of the country, so you don't get the real history in school.
So what I'm getting at is like we need to like get to a point where we're just trying to elevate. We can't undo hundreds of years. But we got to find where that common, it could be something real small, to where you find a common ground with somebody, and like that mustard seed will grow into whatever you choose to evolve that to with that person.
Okay, so
you know
how
what
do
I
we
mean?
do that though? We elevate through recognizing injustice.
And that's what I'm
just
doing right
because-
now. I'm recognizing everything he said.
Okay.
And you know, and some of the things he said, I did not know.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what I'm saying? But I absorbed it. I absorbed it.
That's actually important.
And I'm gonna do my own research also. Now, I'm not saying that he
Absolutely.
didn't
Do it.
because
That's
why
the important
would you
part.
just take one person's word?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Especially in this
Absolutely.
day. But that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm trying to point out. Is like you got to have open heart, open mind. Like you can't undo everything that's been done, and like I can't. Like, I have empathy for everything that's happened to anybody, really, you know, and it's just, we got to find where that common ground is. And like, sometimes it's just the approach and the conversation. You know, like if you come to a certain point, like, I don't mean to point you out, but like, you say, I don't understand. You are not on my side. Like that can, to a certain person, it's like you're telling me where my starting point's at, and I haven't even spoke.
Okay, respect. I respect you. You called me out on my bullshit. But when we came up here, we were talking to these other two gentlemen.
Oh,
and
I'm
he
not
said,
disputing that. I'm talking
but
right here.
I'm glad that you're listening, though. I'm glad that you are.
I can't learn if I don't listen.
But okay, but what I want to say to you right now is that I want to elevate. We all want to elevate with you, right? But we can't go up if we haven't even looked at the wounds that are still impacting us today. Wait. I just want to mention something real quick. The 13th Amendment that freed us, right? It says that unless you are duly convicted of a crime by the state, you cannot be a slave. So that means if you're a criminal, you can be a slave. And I don't know if you know the history of this. Look it up on Netflix. It's called 13th, really easy to remember. And it goes from slavery and to how the system that is holding so many of our people away from families and job opportunities.
See,
Wait, let me finish, please.
When you call it our people, because he's saying we're all people.
Okay,
so
I'm saying
we got it's in the language. It's in the language.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
All right, let me rephrase.
That's where I'm just trying
rephrase.
to emphasize.
The people who look like me and have my experience and the black experience, not the African experience, the black experience in this country. Because wait. Let me finish, my guy. Because of why did we come to this continent? And then when they decided to change their mind on that decision, the 13th Amendment was put into place so that when black people are criminalized, they can be profited off of. Once the Civil War was over, the Southern economy was completely destroyed. They needed people working in the fields. They had women, and if their hair was out like this, they could be put in jail. If you didn't have proof of employment, you could be put in jail. But why? Just to put them back on the fields. Now fast forward today, just last year in 2020, I know these numbers are kind of approximating, okay, so don't quote me, but some of the prisoners in New York were making bottles of hand sanitizer and being paid around 60 cents an hour just for the state of New York to turn around and profit, sell it for $6 maybe, right? But the prisoners can't even use the hand sanitizer because it has alcohol. We completely dehumanized, profit off of, put these people in cages and then expect them to come out into the world without any resources. And that system of mass incarceration that comes back from slavery, that is what authorizes police brutality. And when Jacob Blake was shot in the back 7 times after he tried to break up a dispute between 2 people and he walked back to the car to his kids, he was shot in cold blood 7 times. And that is why people were out here, and they died for that. They died for that, and the person who killed them will live to see another day outside of any jail in this state, any prison in the state. And that
was Kenneth.
My response to that would be,
we wouldn't be having this conversation.
Yes.
My response to that would be, though, is also how I feel like personally is that this is much bigger than this. This is a huge issue for this community, this town. Exactly. But
it could have did something.
It could have. But for you
let's
it
do
didn't,
something
correct?
then. Let's
So
do something then.
No, I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm asking you. Ask me a question. I'm asking you for you.
Is this a victory for you?
No, not a victory. There's no one won in this situation.
And get a fucking gun and gun down anybody with an AK-47 that they don't know the power of, to just go out here and play like they're playing fucking cowboy.
But did I say that?
The extent of life, he couldn't even look at the fucking autopsy.
But see, this is where I'm talking about in the language. In the language, it's like.
Can you try to listen? Can you just try to Can you try to open your ears up to a different language? Because I think our message is more important than the way you're trying to listen.
Kill them with my bare hands and look at them dead in the eyes when they're dead and gone. And said anyone was a monster. If they did something monstrous to my sister, I would absolutely rip their eyes out and choke them to death. If I knew they did something evil, I would kill them and I'd look over their fucking body and admit that.
Okay, whoa.
No, he shot those people like a pussy.
I just
he
want
hid
to
behind
say,
a fucking AK-47 when he can't even legally own that
okay,
gun?
but
are you fucking
but
kidding
this
me?
doesn't
But
just
I didn't
this
say
isn't
nothing
just a
about
one-time
that.
thing.
I didn't say nothing about that. I just said like that's where I'm saying it's like the starting points. Like I can't go nowhere with that.
But that's not.
I can't go nowhere with that.
So listen. Anger is being misdirected, and you shouldn't be the butt of it. But you kind of.
I'm not coming off of it.
It was an AR-15 and AK-47.
Body language.
Still talking though.
You know, let's get somewhere because we have to learn from the history. We have to know the facts. And I appreciate everything you said. And you taught me some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna take that and I'm gonna check it out.
It meant something to you.
But now we have to also move forward. You know what I mean? Because then we're living in the past too much. But you cannot forget it though.
Can't forget it. Because you see evil. Wise man once said, if you see evil, forget it not, but don't be slack in forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate the fact that you coming to us with a sincere heart.
Yes.
And you coming with an open mind. Nobody out here can ask more than you. Nobody. You know what I mean? The majority of the people out here,
I'm not asking you.
because everybody can feel your spirit and feel your energy. You know what I mean? And your son behind you. You know, everybody can feel your heart and feel your energy. It's not everybody. Absolutely, man. Matter of fact, give me a hug, brother. Absolutely, man. You too, man. Yes, sir, brother. Yes, sir, man.
And I just think that, like, sometimes you can just simplify something. Like, and I think a lot of it has to do with approach and language. And I'm not here to tell nobody that their history
about 80%. Let me give you an important fact. About 90% of the people in Harvard don't have the ability, they don't have the social skills that some people may. Right, but the thing is that they don't have social skills. So communication is not like the grade A quality that you're gonna get. So when they're angry, they say mother effer, etc. That is lack of the ability to properly express yourself. Right. So that's all they know, because when you're angry, all you're doing in the household is yelling and screaming at your mama. What makes you think they're not gonna yell and scream at you?
Like I said, like how do you go anywhere with that then?
Come at it with a
Most of them don't.
I'm saying like people's anger is valid. It is valid until the sun comes up and down. You know what I mean? And it is unfortunate. This was not.
It's getting too cramped for me. Alright. So that's some dialogue there, some conversation. It's hard to hear now, people are talking now. It was dead quiet for a while.
Hey, don't be recording with us.
Hey, stop. Yeah, we're shuffling.
We are.
Thank you. Got the coffee hookup. Shout out Kenosha residents. Oh yeah, thank you so much. I'll show you guys. I'll back out. Hold on. This is about the size of the crowd now out here. This is live in Kenosha, Wisconsin, outside the Kenosha County Courthouse. Still reaction from the verdict earlier today.
And beyond. In that, hang on, here I am. I thought I'd hang up, well, I have hung up the guns. Not even shoot a rabbit on the farm these days. But I've got to fight again. And why? Because of the insult which is being heaped on society by federal and state governments, and let's face it, the opposition's probably even worse. And this is just so sad that people are coerced. You know, do the right thing. I beg your pardon. When is a vaccine not a vaccine? Having served as my mate here as well for quite a few years, I'm well aware of the need for vaccines. A, to stop this silly clown here catching a certain disease, but of equal and probably more importance, to make sure I don't carry the flaming thing and pass it on. Not one of the concoctions being forced on us today does either of those things. Indeed, in letters to the Federal Health Minister and others, I will continue them. But indeed, during the week I thought, look, people are losing their lives because of the side effects of this rubbish. And you're probably more aware than I am of Pat Cash's dear mum's death and how he has described that. Without going overboard, I do think that those who have foisted this on us, it really comes very close to a manslaughter charge. So, but in the interim, my wife and I will be back in the vineyard in the Bros. You can tell it's a red nose from, you can't see my purple feet from stamping the grapes. But we'll just praise the Lord and press on, and thank you for the privilege of sharing with you today.
I'm one of the young veterans that served our country. I did Gulf War Part 2. I signed a blank cheque to say, do my bit for the country, sacrifice potentially my life, my mental health, my physical health, like everyone that joined the forces. And the word to me, sacrifice, means a lot right now. these medals that I wear is because of a sacrifice I made for the free spirit, the free Australia that I thought I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And now as a father, I've got a 4-year-old son and a 6-year-old daughter going on 30. What freedom have they got? What was my service for? I want people to reflect on that. Our Constitution, what we all stood up for originally, that our forefathers stood. It's all good to hear that you've all got the same sentiment, and I'm so proud to be here today. This is the first time I've ever protested. I'm 40. I never thought I'd actually ever protest. A lot of people here probably are in the same boat as me, and I'm glad you all think about the sacrifice and acknowledge what we've all done. That's it. We'll just stay on the line, people. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm in education and also health, holistic health, so potentially a double whammy. But I got that email this week, I got that suggestion I have to give my status and everything like that. When I get a bit stressed, I lean on my rock and roll. I'm an 80s kid, I can't help it. I put some music on Tuesday night, and this is what was one of the songs I heard. Bear with me, so I'm going to go for a few seconds. Listen to the words.
People that will listen to you is something that we don't have.
We don't have that privilege.
We can't just
They'll
walk
listen
into
to
those
you
spaces.
before they listen to us, and that's huge.
And that doesn't mean go up to everybody and be like, hey, do you know why the American flag sucks?
No,
That's
you're
not
not
what we're
telling
saying
me
at
to
all.
just go carry your personal message to every single person I see.
No.
It's just that you're giving me another way to look at somebody else's shoes, eyes, you know, like, you know, because my life is not the same way your life is.
Come on, we can never experience what you've been through.
I've seen,
but we try to
racism
understand. That's what I'm trying to understand by listening. I can never experience it, but I'm trying.
Don't understand.
I can
why
empathize.
Thank you.
People need to like label and like you know, like so the whole part, like, just, you know, like, you call someone an inmate, you know, like.
But wait, pause. But every single box on student loans, housing, job employment, this, that, and the other thing, there is that question: are you a felon? And that's why we have labels. That's why we have to say white, black, this, that, because then if we don't see that. If we don't see that, we don't recognize these patterns. And again, if we can't address it, we can't go forward. That's why there's these labels. That's why we have to say it in a way that might be weird, but that is part of you opening up your perspective to what is going on here. I don't know what your original. When I first came up to this dude, he was like something about I support Kyle. I don't know why you guys came out here specifically tonight, but I hope that when you leave, it's a little bit different.
Oh, it already is. It already is. Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm appreciative because I didn't even expect to learn as much as I already did.
Okay.
And I you know, like, I appreciate that. I appreciate you folks, and I appreciate that because that's just your drive and your desire to want to get to a different point with one person and two people, you know, but it's just bigger than that. It is so much bigger than that.
I really think like the community that's here that has taken the time to listen to this conversation and learn something from it, well, thank you guys for reacting with empathy and with understanding rather than anger. And I really do hope that you guys go away from here with like that want to see the world from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Even if it's a
Am
little
I wrong for
in
your eyes, would I be wrong if I say, like, I love my country, but I'm disappointed in a lot of its systems?
That's where most of us are at.
And I think that's
where
a
majority
lot
of us are at.
Are at. And so, I love my country, so therefore,
there's
this
shit we need to
represents
change.
me a little bit different than where your starting point was.
Yeah, and I get that. My mom, I'm a biracial woman. My mother is white. Her favorite holiday is the 4th of July. I think it's kind of weird because we live in two different shoes. But she says to me, Hannah, I don't like either side of the government. I like this flag because we get to decide what it is.
Yeah,
but that only starts if we
exactly,
start
yeah.
working together. Because if not, they're just playing us. We're
And
just
that's what I
engaged.
mean by elevating.
So
is working together and to
yeah, and I like that. You can bring the flag out here, but maybe we can all decide on what it means, and it could be descriptive and normative. What does it mean right now?
Jewish
And
flag,
what,
BLM.
and what should it be? What should it be? The normative, right?
But
What should
my
it
answer
be? We
to
can
that
change
is
it,
if
and we can come to a
maybe
common
not
standing.
this flag if it belongs to him. If you want to get your own flag and do that, there was nothing I would, if that's how you feel and want to do.
Yeah, perfect. So then how do you feel? And so
But
how do you feel
what I'm
right
saying
now? I
is
guess
like
that's
when
my
you get
question
personal, if like this is his flag, I think where
You
he
shouldn't
was
just-
getting at,
You don't want to mess with anyone's property.
that's where I was getting
No
at.
one's talking about property. We're just asking. So now that we've shared our vision and we've kind of come to some common ground, what does that flag mean to you now? Is what I'm trying to say. It doesn't have to be this or that. What is it to you right now in this context?
It represents a lot of different things to me. It represents I love my country. I'm disappointed in a lot of the systems. I think there's a lot of unfairness, and I think we need order, we need structure, but we don't need to be controlled. We don't need to be told what to do. You call it freedom, but like there's not like a whole lot of people that actually feel that free. You know what I mean? And that is a personal journey too. You know what I mean? Like, it's really hard when you have like 20, 30 years and like, if you fail to like had interest in history or somebody else's background and you just want to stay in your own lane your whole life, then it's hard to like change that person's mind. And you may not be able to. So you got to move on to people that are first open-hearted and accepting to listen to you. That you do it, you build up your strength, you build up your numbers, you build up, we're all on the same boat. And then people will see like, well, man, you know, if everybody's telling me I'm doing something wrong, maybe I should check myself.
Exactly.
And maybe I need to check myself. Am I doing something wrong? No, I'm not admitting to saying that I am, but if I got 100 people saying you might need to check this out, I think it would be not smart to check that out. You know, I hope I'm communicating it to you in a way that you're grabbing it. You know, because like I feel for a lot of the history that is just completely like malice and brutal and like, and I can't change that. You know, like
No one's asking.
right, but
We're just asking you not to enforce it while
right
it's here
here,
right
yeah,
now.
like
And
you
how
don't want to
those
keep
systems-
encouraging bad behavior.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like or
And so when
dumb
those-
decisions or
right.
like
So but when those brutal systems from the past still play out today, and we have from the Jacob Blake shooting to the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting to right here, right now, and you guys came out here and said we support Kyle after. I mean, we understand.
See, that's where it gets mixed up. I didn't say that. And now you see how it's kicked out. And I didn't even say that. I'm saying they're gonna do it. Yeah, I'm not blaming you.
Hey, I'm still gonna stand here and say, when you came out and you said you supported Kyle. He just killed people in Walmart. Okay. Then I'm not talking to you. Then I'm not talking to you. Let me talk to somebody else. When you came out here, you said you support Kyle. I wasn't out here for that long, but I did talk to you. So I do want to see in a context where people, I mean, it's not even about race because it's not even the shooting of to say that after the last devastation between police brutality and then this system that authorizes it. And by the way, the I don't know if you guys know this, but the officer who shot Jacob Blake 7 times in the back He's back on the force.
Yeah, I'm aware of what happens in my community.
Okay, well, then you should understand why coming out here and saying you support Kyle is really damaging for us because Kyle represents a white man walking processing after he just killed someone in your community.
Right, and like...
That's not right. It doesn't matter black or white. That's not right.
No, it's not.
That's injustice.
But what I'm trying to explain to you is like, I feel like what I hear you saying to me is saying that I'm here in support of Kyle.
I'm talking to this brother right
here. Oh, well, you were looking at me, so I didn't know.
Okay, well, I'm still talking to this brother. You did not finish our conversation. So, after all of that, why did you come here today and say that? I don't want to sound like I'm attacking you. I want us to try to work something out. Okay.
I mean, the reason I support Kyle is because I do think it's self-defense. Okay. Do I think he should have walked off free? No. I do believe he should at least been charged with at least like a, I don't know, disorderly conduct, maybe some disorderly conduct of some sort. I'm not trying to say yes, he walked out free. Good for him, you know.
Okay. No, I hear you.
But I would like to
answer. How do you support him still, though? Because you still understand that he did something wrong.
Yeah, correct.
And I respect self-defense. Do you know the Trayvon Martin case?
Yeah.
He was perpetrated by a neighborhood watchman, and he said that he felt threatened even though he followed Trayvon Martin throughout the neighborhood. And the question is, that we ask this American flag is, why does George Zimmerman get to use self-defense when he's perpetrating someone, but not Trayvon Martin? Why can't he have the right to stand his ground? And I'm going to apply that to right now. Kyle Rittenhouse said that he was, in a way, standing his ground, if you want to use the law that they have down there, and no one seems to recognize the people who also had a right to stand their ground, who weren't the ones walking around with AR-15s in your community, right? That should be, I believe in self-defense, and if you believe in self-defense, I believe in a right to bear arms, and I think that when people are killing people, they need to be stopped. And if they try with a skateboard, with a pistol, or with their bare hands with their little work bag, they all were trying to act in self-defense. And so for someone to kill them and walk away free, that is not right. And it shouldn't be right for you guys either, because y'all live here. This is your streets too, right?
Yes. And
what do you think?
My personal reason to come here is to understand.
Because he has a game. My dad's up there right now. But I was supposed to drive up there, but I was like...
All right, y'all comment where you're tuning in from.
I agree, but right
Y'all, this is the warmer section right here. Anybody need to get warm? Right here, kids. Jump in for a second.
Comment where you're tuning in from. You're watching live right outside the Kenosha County Courthouse in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Yeah, we are also live on YouTube as well at this time. North Carolina in the chat.
All right.
More dialogue being had.
Infrastructure.
Burn the jail, burn the prison, just make sure the cops are in. Burn the jail, burn the prison, just make sure the cops are in.
And so we tap into the community. We have campuses all over Wisconsin. Go to a meeting and learn something. That's how we're all trying to come together. Everybody. It's nonprofit work. We all have to come, let's get together and try to educate the community.
And say one more time where we can find it.
It's litwi.wisconsin.org.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Guys.
And
really
hey,
inspirational watching all of
you guys should look at my TED Talk. It's called Feeling Us, Feeling America. It'll be good. Maybe just take mental note. It should be out soon. But
sweet.
Yeah. Cool.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you. No problem. I learned a lot today.
Thanks for speaking up.
Hey guys, thanks for being in the conference. That was great to be with you.
These are my new friends. Hi.
Huh?
That's Carly.
Both of us are incredibly passionate about just like conversation.
Hey sir, real quick, what's your name for me real fast? Director, Minister.
Everywhere we've been around the country.
Khalif.
Khalif Muabel.
Okay. What is your platform, sir? Do you have like a social media people can?
Yep. Kenosha Core.
Kenosha Core.
Yep. All of our platforms are right here.
Here's all of his platforms. Everyone is trying to learn some more information. So screenshot this. Just take a screenshot, y'all. You screenshot it if you're looking for more information. Thank you so much.
That's me. You can look me up on Facebook individually.
There you go. If you want to look them up on Facebook. Screenshot that. All right. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you so much. All right. That's his information. Those that wanted it.
But we're not. There are at least 3 million Australians who know what's going on, and that's enough. We can see through the curtain of lies. This is an opportunity to expose the tyrants. In exactly 4 months, we're having South Australian state elections. Exactly 4 months. That's March the 19th. Okay, so that's a time when we can actually do something, because we can get together, but they will just close their eyes. They will call us crazy. But at the ballot box, they are going to get a damn big shock. Okay, but we've got to be clear, who's going to do something? Well, the Greens are not going to do anything. This is their paradise. Lock us down, control us. That's the truth, I'm afraid to say that. Labor's not going to do anything. Labor is with the Greens and, unfortunately, with the Liberal Party, who have been bought and sold by Pfizer and China. They'll keep us in masks under mandates, using QR codes forever. That's what they want. They just take their orders from the globalists. I hear you. I search for a party that might actually work. I know there's some small parties, but they're not running candidates. They are not running candidates. But I had to look around. I've never joined a party in my life before. I've backed up certain parties when I could. But I finally discovered that there's one person. Pauline Hanson is remaining defiantly unvaxxed. She is defiant. She will not get vaxxed. She's put a bill before Parliament to stop mandate discrimination. She is actually working for this. She stood with the truckers when they decided to stop and block the borders. And then she said she would pay their fine. So that, to me, that's a really, really good start. I can't find anybody else to stand with at the moment. and she is running several candidates for the first time in South Australia. And so we actually can get a voice. Now, so what I want to do, because I'm a brand new at this, you know, but I need to hear back from you. I want to come and meet anybody who has family members who have been injured by the vaccines, and I want to come to their house and I want to actually record it. I want to get their names. I want anybody who knows people. Thank you. Thank you. I actually want to come and meet all these people and give them a face. I want to meet people who know people who have died. I want to meet people who have lost their jobs, who are desperate, people who have suicided. Contact me through the One Nation website, Stuart McFarlane, and I will come and I will document and I'll give you a platform, and we will beat the Liberals in the next election.
Thanks, Stuart. Speaking of Stuart Lindsay has actually departed. So we'll be sharing a video update on the judicial review. The first stage has been completed. It's come back very, very favourably in favour of challenging the overreach with the state of emergency. So I think that's a good outcome. We've certainly achieved most of the fundraising, I would say, at this point, but we will update on all aspects of that via Adelaide Freedom Rally email list. So subscribe at adelaidefreedomrally.com. Pardon? Oh, we've got 100k and loads of donations today. So standing next to me is Jamie. Many of you will know Jamie from Adelaide Rises, and he's organised a family fun day for tomorrow. I've asked him to just share some details with you.
Thanks, Kelly. Hi, guys. So it's 11:30 at Thornton Park tomorrow. It's going to be jumping castles, face painting. So bring your kids, bring your family. Got a barbecue on, and we're going to have drinks, ice creams for families. Yeah, thanks for everyone for turning up. Appreciate it today. It's really great. I'll see you tomorrow.
So Thornton Park's a beautiful location. We do have Adam Richards here from Old Port Chambers, and again, this is a name that should be familiar to many of you. I know it certainly comes up every 3 to 5 seconds in our world. So Adam, we appreciate all your hard work. Please share.
Okay, so I'll take you back about 6 months. Around about 6 months ago, I was sitting at my desk and I booked with my doctor for my vaccine. And I started to ask the question, what am I going to do about my kids? Because I'd heard that it wasn't such a good idea for kids. And I thought I'd better do my due diligence. And I started to look into it. And the more I looked into it, the more uncomfortable I became. And then the more I looked into it, even more uncomfortable. And at one point I decided I wasn't going to get vaccinated, and by God, they weren't getting their hands on my kids.
Police came through to have that vehicle moved. Thank you so much. Awesome. Been live for 5 hours, dude. It's like a court feed. Live for 5 hours.
Let's just give it
Consider becoming a supporter of the Facebook page or a member of the YouTube channel. Thank you all that are supporters and members of the platforms.
What can I ask you before you go? About your thought on
In Minneapolis, yes. Yep, I got yeah, I'll be back in Minneapolis tomorrow. There's like a 2 p.m. protest or something in Minneapolis, so I plan to be back before then. There they go, the crowd that was here first, out here. They're leaving. Crowd really thinned out in front of the steps, but they walk down the street.
Where's your evidence of that he wanted to kill people? Where's your evidence that he wanted to kill people? Because the trial, I did watch the trial. The trial said that he's innocent. Okay, so he doesn't want to talk about it. So we know that they were innocent.
Hey, find your evidence and I'll show you mine.
But she can't show me, because she knows my evidence, she can't show me how Rittenhouse wanted to kill people.
Ancestors
We're saying that he wanted to kill people, which is not true. I just asked a question, I'm not arguing.
Kyle's got to do
I just asked you the simple question. I mean,
I don't want to answer it, so I'm walking away now. Thank you.
all I know is, as of today, as of right now, Kyle Rittenhouse is free. He's at home where he should be. He shouldn't be at home. He should be at home.
And so he should be
As a black man in this nation, justice was done. I can say that. Justice was done. As a black man in this nation, I can say justice was done.
Okay.
100%. 100%. And I'm not gonna allow, especially white liberals, to try to take the right from me
And I'm not
to have my
white.
defense.
I'm not white and I'm not a liberal.
I'm not gonna allow that to happen. No white liberal's gonna try to take the right from me to defend myself. See, white liberals, that's what they always want to do. They always find some kind of way to make it to where black people can't protect themselves. They always act like they know what's best for black people. You see that constantly happening. It's constantly happening. But I'm thankful that I get to be able to protect myself, just like everybody else. You should be able to protect yourself.
Why do you think he deserves to go
Because
home?
it was self-defense.
No, it was not.
There's a guy
I
with
saw
a
it.
paper
It was
bag
100%
running at him. What are you
self-defense.
defending against? A
It was
paper bag?
self-defense.
A 17-year-old has
We're
no
not
goddamn right.
You want to get a broken nose or a broken leg?
How do you? Okay, so look. Have you ever been in the hood? You ever been in the hood? You ever been in the hood? I've seen white boys walk down through the hood and they don't come out alive. and they weren't even provoking anybody.
You was out there, brother?
I've seen that multiple times.
I've seen it
multiple times.
The people he shot was not against him.
I'm sorry, sir.
They were peacefully protesting.
We was.
Huh?
There was no harm
Okay.
towards
So I'm
him.
asking you a question.
He walked with the gun.
The first guy he killed, right?
His mama dropped
Because
him
they were
off.
chasing.
It
No, it
was
wasn't.
not
That was after he shot the first guy.
No, they shot.
Are you
the
telling me
mob
something
was
that I was
chasing.
there for? No, that's
Well,
not true.
according when you're looking at the
I'm telling
video,
you, brother,
when
I
the
was
first
there.
guy was shot,
He was on the ground,
he was
brother.
on the ground.
Boots on the ground, brother. You can't tell us nothing different.
So why did he shoot the first guy then?
He shot the first guy for no reason.
How do you know that?
He had a garbage bag in his hand.
He had a garbage bag in his hand. He thought
So
he
how
was
do
going to
you know
go
it's for
kill.
no
He thought he
reason?
was going to go blow up some property or something.
So I'm
He
supposed to
wasn't.
just take your word that you were there and you said it's for no reason.
I mean, you can watch them.
You see how it goes.
We're supposed to take your word when you wasn't there? You said self-defense and you wasn't even on the ground. brother.
5 counts, not guilty. I think
And
a
Jimmy
lot
History
of people already agree to that.
Systemically.
5 people already agree to that.
Okay, what organization you with, brother?
Freelance.
You with freelance? What is freelance about? What's your mission?
Showing the truth.
That's the mission statement?
That's the truth. Showing the truth. Exposing the truth.
Okay. So let me ask you this question.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Your job is to show the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know the truth? Wait. So what is your concept of truth? Is that subjective or is it objective?
There's only one truth.
It's only one truth.
There's only one truth. 2 plus 2 will equal 4. No matter how much you want to try to say.
So
there's only one man. There's only a woman. Man and woman. You can't make up extra. I mean, no, we're talking about truth. That's not subjective truth. There's only man and woman.
But
Satan has set in to try to convince us that you can have more than a man and more than a woman.
Right, we don't want to go into religious dialogue, but listen, this is my question.
Okay.
You're saying that you speak the truth.
Fuck is self-defense when there's nothing to defend.
Okay.
He was not in harm's way.
Truth is axiomatic, right? It's absolute, right? Absolute, right? So how is it possible that you can take a stand on something that you are not 100% sure about?
I love the conversation. I love when we have civil conversations. You know, the biggest problem that we have in this right now is people don't have civil conversations.
Well, we just had a lot of civil conversations, civil dialogue here. We've been having it for the last 3-4 days.
I'm just
even
saying.
with the Proud Boys
I'm just saying. There's a lot of people
and things of that nature, right?
And I'm just saying, there's a lot of people that don't want to because people are just angry.
Right.
But instead of just being angry, people should just try to listen.
But
and that's why I'm talking, I'm listening, right?
Well, it's kind of hard to tell somebody if you're cut, don't focus on the pain that you're feeling, but just focus on what I'm saying. It's difficult to do that. You know, so I understand the frustrations of the people. I understand the reaction and the response. All of those things are valid. We can't oppress or suppress people's rights to be, you know, emotional and things of that nature. So I'm not with that part. But what I am with is that the medic that got shot was one of my medics. Okay. The people that were on the ground were our people from Milwaukee.
Let me ask you: did you testify?
I'm not going to do all that.
Well,
But
I mean,
that's not my job.
No. So during the case,
actually, one of our people.
You never, when you had all this information, you were there firsthand, and you didn't.
Wait, let me finish. Our people, one of our people in our organization was subpoenaed. He was right there. He got a phone call. It told him, what did they tell him? They don't need him no more. He's an eyewitness, right?
They need the gun.
Right. And as a matter of fact, the first person that actually shot wasn't Kyle. It was another shooter that shot first. And then Kyle responded and killed the innocent person.
Well, that's subjective.
No, that's subjective.
That is subjective.
These are facts.
That is subjective.
You wasn't there.
But they're still subjective.
No, you're saying that I'm telling you something
but
subjective.
You're telling me what's in his heart. Okay. You have no idea what's in his heart. What's in his heart? What's in his mind?
The first guy for no reason.
But you don't know that.
With no gun, no weapon, or nothing. So let me ask you a question.
That's subjective. You're telling me what's in his mind.
Let me ask you a question.
That's what you're doing now.
So listen, a dialogue, right? You said that you like a peaceful dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
but you're being very confrontational.
No, I'm not being confrontation. You don't like my response.
Are you media?
The issue is.
Are you
hold
media?
on. The issue is you don't like my response.
I never said I didn't like your response.
That's what you're saying. You're saying I'm being confrontational.
It's not accurate. Your response is not accurate.
I'm not giving you the response that you want.
No, you're
See,
not
that's
giving
the
me an
difference.
accurate
I'm not
response.
giving you the response
It's a
you
difference.
want. No, that's what it is.
Your opinion.
Just because, and it is opinion, just like yours.
No,
if I don't
mine's
give
not
you the
opinion.
response you want, if you don't give me the response I want, I can't sit there and say, well, you're being confrontational. Now you're being confrontational.
I'm not being confrontational.
You're not giving me the response I want.
I don't need your response.
That's exactly what you're saying.
That's childish. Listen, brother. This is my point. This is my point. You have a stance out here. You're taking a stance without facts.
I'm taking a stance without facts.
Without facts. You're taking a stance without facts, but then you promote that you're telling the truth.
No, I'm telling the truth.
That's a misappropriation, but you're giving a misappropriation of the facts. It's a misappropriation.
Because you have something in the sense or something that you want to
I don't have an agenda.
Okay, well, let me ask you, because I was asking.
I'm nonpartisan. I'm not on either side.
Because I was asking the young lady before she left. This case with him being set free, what does that have to do with black people? Are you saying because of the three white guys? Let me let you answer. What does it have to do with black people?
Question that I've been asked about 1,000 times today.
Okay.
Number one, I don't identify with black. That's not my, but that's my ideology. But in any event, the fact that that brother, Gage, was one of the medics for our caravan protests. Anthony and JoJo were all part of our caravan protests. We have a variation of different kind of race, creed, cultures that protest and march with us.
Okay.
In our minds, that's a family member.
Okay.
That was lost. So
okay.
The people are responding to the injustice of Jacob Blake. Kyle was out here because of the uprising about Jacob Blake.
Not the rioting, the looting, none of that had anything to do with it.
We're talking about life over property right now.
People's businesses
let's
being
stay on track.
destroyed.
Let's stay on track, my brother.
I mean, no, you're talking about the reason why he was here.
Right, I'm talking about life over property.
But I'm just saying, let's get it all out there then. The reason why he was here, because he was helped to protect people's business, people's property.
Let's keep it in perspective.
Yeah,
it's not possible for a 17-year-old to have to have that degree of intelligence to come out here to believe that he can protect property. Number one, he wasn't supposed to have a firearm. He's underage.
Really? What's the age? What's the age here in Kenosha?
What's the age here in Kenosha? 21.
16 actually. 16 for a long barrel. I actually looked it up.
He had a license?
16. No, you
he
have
that's
open
only
carry
when you're
16.
hunting. It's a hunting rifle. What did he have?
AR-15. That's a hunting rifle. He used a hunting rifle.
And he had a license.
Yeah,
he had a license.
You don't have to have a license for open carry for AR-15.
A 17-year-old.
Yeah. Age of 16.
From
16
Illinois.
And up. 16 and up.
From Illinois.
United States of America. See,
Once he crossed those state lines.
But now we're concerned about borders. See, that's the issue. A lot of people on the left, they're not concerned about borders when we have people coming from the southern border. My man Anthony Aguado, he's there every night. There's no issue about that. But when we talk about him crossing the state line, the whole thing is this is still the whole thing is this is part of the United States of America. The U.S. Constitution doesn't stop at the border. The U.S. Constitution goes across the entire land of the United States of America. So if he decided to cross border after border after border, he should be able to. That's it. Us telling people where they can and can't go and how they're able to travel is against the U.S. Constitution.
Wait a minute. So you're all for it. So you're telling me that you're for a person gunning down people that don't. Wait a minute. That's right. Yeah, actually, irrespective of what it is. Either you're gonna let me talk, and I'm gonna listen.
Oh yeah. Tacos for everybody. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh yeah.
I'll talk. Let me ask a question. Okay, let me ask you one question. Okay.
You're not letting me respond to the question.
He shoot these three white males, and you say that they're family.
You said that they're one person. You said he didn't shoot people.
He shot these three white males, and you said that they were family.
You said they're not people.
And if they were going to just shoot, if he was just here just to shoot general people, why didn't he shoot any black people that night?
Because they weren't in his vicinity.
Seriously? So what about the video with the black dude jumped and kicked him in the head? While he was down on the ground?
That was after. He did what he did.
Oh, so he shot and missed.
He shot and missed when
he shot and missed.
Yeah.
When the black dude kicked him in the head.
He shot and missed that guy.
Well, you know, lucky for him. If you drop kick someone you in the head, are you gonna handle him? Think about it.
So
That's
here,
when drop kick him in the head, you're gonna be upset about it too.
the irony in this is really important for us to get. I'm just really, so the irony here is that you're saying that Cobb came across the border to protect property but not life, right? That's what you're saying, correct? But ended up taking a life when there was nobody vandalizing property. The people that he killed had nothing to do with vandalizing property. I'm doing that.
How do you know that? They were already talking about he was burning stuff. They were, was it Rosenberg? They said a dumpster fire?
I thought there was a bunch of cars on fire.
There was cars, the tires are on fire?
That fire was pitiful. He didn't do
These
shit.
people were not the
So it's okay.
It was pitiful. He
It was
didn't come
okay.
here to extinguish that
It's
fire. He
okay.
came here to kill people.
The fire's
dude.
okay.
Yes.
Destroying people property.
These were not the people responsible for that. He didn't kill the people that were responsible. Did y'all get a doggy attack? How was that justifiable?
He killed the people that were attacking him.
No, he didn't.
So you say he randomly killed people?
He did. The first person he killed was very unjustifiable. It's all on video.
Watch the video then, dude.
The video, you can see the mob is chasing him. And I do really appreciate you, sir, having this conversation with me. I really do. But you can see in the video, the mob was chasing before the first fire.
The mob was
shot.
chasing you?
Yeah, the mob.
After you did what? What did he do?
When he was running away. A lot of them saying they were chasing him because they wanted to disarm him.
These are not true. Yeah.
They wanted to disarm him.
Here's
No,
the
this
thing.
was before that. Before that.
I mean, if it's not true, how come there was nothing that got presented from the prosecutor?
Talking about the criminal justice system in America, man, that is no proof of nothing.
But I've heard, because you yourself also said, with all due respect, you said that you didn't want to get involved in that. And there's been other people said that they didn't want to get involved.
Well, my people that were actually supposed to be involved were called by prosecutors telling them that they didn't need to touch me. Took a bus.
Yeah. And I think there were some people also from the DA that also were called and said that they weren't needed as well. Or not from the DA, but the defense. So it probably went both ways regarding that.
I don't know. I wasn't intimately involved in the...
But I also heard other people say that they didn't want to come forward.
Hey, get your ass out. Tacos, officer, tacos. It's gonna be a long night. Get your tacos right here.
Shout out to the chat that got the tacos delivered.
Oh yeah, tacos. I don't want a taco, I just want to say thank you. Oh, no problem.
The crowd is diminished.
Received 6 parental reports. I've never seen that.
Can you give us an example of one of the things the judge did? Sorry. Give us one example.
Well, number one, the judge did away with the gun charges.
Because it wasn't illegal.
He did away with the gun charges. But I'm giving you my response.
Okay.
And he also said that the people that were killed were rioters and looters, that they weren't considered to be victims. So once you take those two things out of the equation, what is the jury really deliberating about?
So there was no rioting that night?
These people were not there rioting.
There's video of, I don't know which one, I think the first guy, Rosenbaum, saying to him, the N-word.
Burn it down.
So
why is that okay with white people?
Wait,
hold on, I'm not done yet. Let me finish, please. Why is it okay for white people to say the N-word if they're associated with one party or one group versus another? Because if other people, like say, you guys say the militia was here, if the militia was here and they were saying N-word, they'd be considered racist. But other white people can say the N-word.
I don't agree with any of it on any part.
But
I don't say the N-word.
But the people who do say the N-word line up.
That's irrelevant. What's relevant is this. That's irrelevant. It is. It is, because we're talking about life and death here. But I do want to say this: if somebody called you the N-word, I'm going to pull out my gun and shoot him?
I'm not saying
that's
that.
a threat.
I'm not
you
saying
be classified as a threat. So let me ask you this question.
The words don't bother me. I'm just
no. Let me ask you this question. You, my brother.
Okay.
What constitutes self-defense in the state of Wisconsin? What does that law read?
As far as the state of Wisconsin?
Wisconsin.
I don't know. Educate me.
Oh, okay. So
educate me.
That means that you have to apply the equal amount of force only to the degree to subdue an attack. Only to the degree to subdue an attack. So that means that excessive force, especially morphing into death, which in this case we're talking about a homicide, is completely illegal. The self-defense law does not protect that. They stretch that law to the maximum degree. So that means that the people, wait a minute. Now I can see if JoJo or Anthony had guns, pointed at Kyle.
One of them did have
Kyle,
a gun.
Pointed at Kyle because he had a gun, which is legal in this state. You just said that.
But one of them had a gun.
Wait a minute.
A handgun.
Did he point it at Kyle?
Yes. He even admitted. He
talking
admitted.
About Gage?
He admitted it.
You talking about Gage?
He admitted it.
He wasn't killed.
Stand.
He wasn't killed. I'm talking about the two people that he murdered.
Okay, but
neither of them had guns.
Okay. So let me ask you. So are
how
you
is
suggesting?
Kyle justified? Wait a minute. Whoa.
Are you suggesting?
You're not responding to my question.
Are you suggesting that a skateboard can't kill somebody?
Absolutely not in the face of an AR-15, brother.
You're telling me
serious?
that someone hitting you over the head
You're a
can't kill you
provocateur, man. I realize what you are. You're a provocateur, brother.
Are you?
You're most
really
definitely
serious?
a provocateur.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you are. You're working for
serious?
somebody.
No,
Who you working for?
I'm working for myself.
No, you're not. You're a provocateur.
I'm working for myself.
You're a provocateur. Anytime somebody tells me that a skateboard, in contrast to a firearm,
no, wait a minute. No.
My
question was, are you telling me you're suggesting that a skateboard can't kill somebody?
You should be ashamed of yourself. You too. All of y'all should be ashamed of yourself. You're a provocateur. You're a provocateur. It could if you use blood force trauma to the head.
How do you know he wasn't going to do that?
He wasn't going to do that with Kyle had a big old rifle in his hand.
Apparently he tried.
Even if he approached him, an AR-15 is 150 feet. Wait a minute. An AR-15 is 150 feet. You think that man can get close to somebody
why are people
with a
talking
skateboard?
about the skateboard? Why are people talking about the skateboard?
Because it's propaganda. It's foolishness. And you playing games, man. You playing games, man. You a provocateur, man.
I'm a provocateur.
Stop pulling my legs.
How am I a provocateur?
Let me ask you.
I'm asking simple question. You're assuming that no one can get killed by a skateboard.
Hey, my God.
That's wild to me. That's wild. Seriously.
This is serious.
I'm going to have an AR-15 and let you get close to me with a skateboard to kill me. Get out of here.
This is serious.
No, you're not. You should wait first. If they're going to kill you, if they're going to kill you with a skateboard, you're not going to sit around and find out. You're going to handle your business.
This is serious stuff. Because I heard a lot of people talk about I heard a lot of people talk about property.
Listen, the only one that he probably could use that self-defense theory on is Gage, because Gage had a firearm and pointed it up at him. But those two people, JoJo and Anthony, had no firearm. They had a skateboard, and man was riding. He wasn't using it as a weapon. You guys are tripping.
So let me ask you this: what would you like to see happen next?
What would I like to see happen next? Is the DOJ open this case.
For what? What would it say on their paper? What would be enough to go on the DOJ's desk for them to spend thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars for a case that's already been tried?
Homicide.
Homicide.
Number one, judicial bias. Oh my God. The way that they handled this case, the way the judge handled this case, clearly from the gate was biased as ever. And let me tell you something. I've litigated over 300 cases. I've never seen a judge exercise his overbroad discretion the way he did. He deviated from so many guidelines within the constructs of the statutory guidelines, and he treaded lightly around the Wisconsin State Constitution.
Give us an example.
I already gave you the
Just
examples.
one with the judge. I asked you that earlier, but you went to something else.
No, I didn't. The fact that he
give it
was
to me
able,
again, because apparently I didn't hear.
The fact that he was able to dismantle the case against Kyle and allow the jury to deliberate on bare bones made no sense. That right there definitely intervened in the jury function. No question about it. The jury had nothing to deliberate about. Absolutely was going to be a not guilty
So he made the
verdict.
decision for the jury, is what you're saying? So
I'm
why
telling,
did it take, why did it take
I'm
so
telling
long
you,
then?
wait a minute. All of that is formality. You know the game. Everything is political. But I'm saying this. No, the judge didn't make the decision for the jury, but he most definitely set it up so the jury can return a verdict of not guilty without a doubt of contradiction.
I mean, you put the evidence out there.
After you throw all of the evidence out, what evidence you talking about?
The evidence that they showed during the trial. Everyone's trial. What evidence got shown out?
That evidence was, like you said, subjective.
So here, boss. Let me ask.
I do really like it. I do like it. We had this conversation. I do like it.
A lot of people talk about property, right? Would you defend your own property if people was trying to damage it? I mean, be honest.
Listen, I'm always going to be honest. I'm a minister. You don't see this right here?
All right.
I'm a divine minister. Come on now.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest as much as I possibly can, you know? But I'm going to defend my property, but I'm not going to kill somebody in cold blood over property that I got insurance for.
So if somebody broke into your home.
If you break into my home, then you're a threat to my family.
And property. Or...
No. If you break into my home, you're inside my personal domain. My wife, my children, my dog, and everybody else. In that particular matter, I'm justified in preserving life, right? Including the dog. My job is to preserve life. Every single human being's job and duty is to preserve life. I don't care if you crush the meanest ant beneath your feet. It shakes the throne of God, because that's our creator. Nobody has the right to play God and determine whether or not another human being lives unless their life is really in jeopardy. And a skateboard, my brother, is not putting anybody's life in jeopardy. That's why they got him in Five Below.
I beg to differ, because
for
you
$5.
can get hit in the head with a skateboard and someone can kill you.
You did say that somebody could get killed with a skateboard.
You can.
I can kill you with a pen.
Right.
Yeah.
That don't mean you kill me and gun me down. I can kill you with a newspaper.
You don't find out.
Listen, I can
you
kill
don't
you
find
with a
out
newspaper.
if they're going to kill you with the
Absolutely,
skateboard.
because if
you don't find out,
if I have a rifle, if I have a rifle that shoot 150 feet, yards, even, if I got that kind of a rifle, nobody's going to get 2 feet near me with a skateboard.
So,
and why would I think in my mind that this man is going to hit me with a skateboard if he never raised it?
How far was he from him with the skateboard when he shot him?
That man did not raise a skateboard at him at all. In any
How
respect.
far, how far was he from him?
Skateboard
How
versus
far,
an AR-15.
how far was he from
I'm
him?
having this conversation with you.
Oh no, I mean it's a valid conversation because apparently it came up in the case here. So a lot of people believe that you can't kill someone with a skateboard.
Trolling. You good at trolling.
Well, who am I
You're a great
trolling?
troller. You got what, thousands of views? You got like 5,000 views up there. You got the ratings up. I done boosted your ratings up and everything. You know.
He's trying to say he made you famous.
He's trolling. No,
Yeah,
I
made him famous.
All he got to do is Google me. I'm already famous.
So you said you're a minister. You're a minister.
Minister Khalid Bouabel. You got to do is Google that name. I got like 19 pages on Google.
Is that a Christian church?
I'm not a Christian. I'm a Moorish American. I'm a divine minister. I mean, I'm a universal spiritual teacher.
What is that? I don't know what that is.
I just told you what it was.
Universal.
Universal.
I'm a universal spiritual teacher with non-denominational.
That's why you think there could be more than just a man and a woman.
I never said that. I just know that there's such thing as a hermaphrodite.
You said subjective. But that's an exception to the rule.
That's
an exception to the rule.
That's why I said it's subjective.
Yeah,
you know, with all these people that's not pro-social, pro-life, and things of that nature, you know, they think they, you know, one way or another way, you know, it's just their decision.
So as a minister, how do you handle that? Because there's a lot of people that aspect of things. Because
what aspect of things?
People thinking they're different things than what they are. And I know with the whole...
I don't impede on a person's personal freedoms. But I know you're a troller, and I know you help them.
How are you not a troller then?
I know how to do all that because I did radio.
So you are trolling.
No, I'm not a troller anymore. I troll governments. That's why I'm a lobbyist. That's why I do what I do. So that's part of trolling. You got to do what you got to do to get policies and stuff changed. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you guys are good at what you do, and you almost had me for a minute there. Almost. My name is Minister Khalid Bouabel, and I'm a member of television, and this guy is a troll. You done well, man. That's how Trump won. That's how Trump won. That's his recipe.
Well, I'm glad you admit he won.
Yeah, he won.
Yeah, he did win.
2024.
Yeah, he won.
2024, he's going to win again?
He's running again.
All right, y'all, it's really like it's really dying down. Minister picks up game. He knows game. But this is it, y'all. I'm talking like.
All right, see?
Minimal crowd. The dog is still here. We're live in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Comment how you guys are doing in the chat.
I like this. I like this, man. I mean, I like it. Hey.
Yeah, they're not trying to. So what he means trolling is that they're really not trying to have a conversation. They're trying to. What they're doing is they have big platforms that people aren't going to even listen to that, and they get super chats for as many like replies you get and whatnot. It's a whole thing. It's a whole thing. So crowd's starting to head out. There's a minimal amount of crowd. Thank you to the YouTube for bringing everybody out here. Tacos. That's about it. This is really it. All right, that's it now. Some people went home, got in the car. The dog's got a sweater on. It's been very comfortable. It's not shivering, so the dog's comfortable. But that's about it, guys. This is the crowd that's left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 14 people, and I'd say maybe a third of them are media, or do something in media. So, what's it now? Oh.
Oh, media's gone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Everybody's gone.
The mainstream news. That's like the only one Chuck left. Their tents are gone. Where the big crowd go home. It's cold. What time is it? 11:30 at night. Oh, okay. Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you need one?
Yeah. An iPhone.
Yeah, I got you right here. Here, I got this. My phone's charged. I'm not being out here much longer. I can't feel my face.
Feel that.
The stream's nearly been 6 hours long.
When did you get out of here?
Like 4 or 5, I think 5 o'clock.
You stayed here?
Yeah, I've been here. No, I started at the church. They had an event at the Unitarian church. They're just like a vigil, and then I walked up the street, and then I've been up here. I was gonna tune it out. I was gonna cut out like after 2 hours,
right.
But then like a crowd came, right, and I had to say. Oh yeah, we were right there. I had left for a sec to go take my armor off because it was like my shoulders were starting to hurt. But I took that off and then so it was like 4 people to start with, and then it got like big, and then now it's. So, I really don't think this is it. I think this is about it for Kenosha. Just independent media left out here. Everybody out here with gimbals and independent stuff. Yeah. Independent media is the last one to stick around. They always are. Support independent media. As you guys can see, all the mainstream news is gone. They're gone. There's one little trailer left. I don't know who they're with, but that's it. I mean, they're gunzo. They'll probably email me to hit me up for like a clip of my footage, though. That's how it goes. They'll email me asking for some footage. Trying to do this stream. All right, y'all. I'm gonna sign out. Yup, first in, last out. That's right. That's how we do it here. First in, last out. I'm not gonna be the last though. It's really like those are streamers, and they have platforms. They're the type to like have arguments with crowds, and I don't do that. So that's what's going on there. The BG's there. I mean, it's media. There's maybe 2 or 3 protesters left, and the rest are just people filming or our media or our live streamers. All right, y'all. I'm gonna tune out. That's it. It's been like a 6-hour stream, some shit like that, but it was good times. All right, this is.
Morning, I wanted to go and buy some tools at Bunnings, and I was totally discriminated against. We need to stop this discrimination! Stop this discrimination!
Boycott Bunnings. Boycott Bunnings. Sorry? Shout out boycott Bunnings.
Boycott Bunnings who discriminate! Boycott businesses who discriminate! Enough more discrimination! Enough! No more discrimination! No more discrimination! Boycott Bunnings! 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 Kill the bill! Kill the bill! Kill the bill! I love you people! You don't want to know sectarian engines, don't you? Alright, come on! Go loud and proud! Sectarian engines! Sectarian engines! I want the drones to hear us! Sectarian engines! Sectarian engines! Sectarian engines! Sectarian engines! Sectarian engines! You people are amazing! Power of people. You cannot fight with power of people. Not the government.